Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. The program will begin in 5 minutes. Thank you for joining with us. Take your seats at this time. Program will begin in 5 minutes. Thank you.
Are you ready for Pitch Night 2025?
Because we are!
This isn't just a high school event.
It's Shark Tank meets High School Hustle.
And trust us, you don't want to miss it.
Help us welcome the judges, Bruce Thompson and First Lady Suzanne Youngkin.
Dr. Kevin Bonner, Tom Walker, Jill Bland, and Monique Adams.
Table displays start at 4 and pitches start at 5.
One stage, 7 teams, 5 judges, one unforgettable night.
The boldest, most innovative night of the year. Brought to you by the Entrepreneurship and Business Academy. Don't sit on the bench. Come watch us swing for the fences.
Be there or hear about it.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the 7th Annual Entrepreneurship and Business Academy Pitch Night. My name is Madeline DeLawrence, and I'll be your student co-host for the evening. This event is the accumulation of a year's worth of work from our entrepreneurship and innovation students in their incubator and design for entrepreneurship classes. Tonight, you will hear from 7 teams who will pitch their business idea to our panelists, who will then decide the merits of their idea. Teams may receive all the funding they are asking for, or could receive more or less based on what the judges think. Tonight, the judges have $25,000 to provide to the top teams. Prior to the start of the event, there were 11 additional incubator teams who participated in a preliminary pitch competition. These teams have developed commercial pitches which showcase their business idea and lessons they learned throughout the class. The video commercials will be shown during judges' deliberation after the pitches tonight. As we begin our evening, I would like to introduce you to Mr. Bruce Thompson. Mr. Thompson has been involved with Pitch Night from the very start and is tonight's benefactor for the funding provided to the teams. Mr. Thompson is a serial entrepreneur who has masterfully built and operated more than a dozen highly successful companies spanning travel, retail, transportation, food and beverage, timeshare, hotel, and commercial real estate. His initial expansion of a travel company into hotels and restaurants ultimately led to the formation of the prominent Gold Key PHR, a key developer in the coastal Virginia with diverse holdings in hotels, restaurants, and real estate. Inspired by the guidance he received early in his career, Mr. Thompson is deeply committed to mentoring inspiring entrepreneurs. His extensive experience and dedication to our local community make him an exceptional and deeply valued member of our program. Since 2018, he has been a generous donor of our pitch nights, contributing over $175,000 to both our program and countless aspiring student businesses. His extensive experience and significant financial support make him an exceptional and deeply cherished member of our community. Please join me in welcoming to the stage Mr. Thompson.
Well, welcome. It's great to be here. This is our 7th year of Pitch Night, with our Shark Tank and our illustrious folks. Just real quickly that show up on our panel. Our panels over the years have had everywhere from governors to super successful entrepreneurs to presidents and CEOs of banks, all here to help these young entrepreneurs realize their dream. You know, the cool thing about entrepreneurship from my perspective is that it's only limited to the entrepreneur's imagination and the self-satisfaction that comes from creating something, modifying it, getting it out, and seeing the public acceptance and the idea that it was your idea, the freedom to create, and then create something that people embrace, and then something that puts a lot of dough in your pocket. So that's what we're trying to inspire. You know, they give scholarships for athletics, they give scholarships for academics, they give scholarships for music. But unfortunately, or fortunately, maybe somewhere in between, I didn't have the opportunity to go to college. But I had people, when I was very young, come to me and help me and give me a helping hand and give me a little money and encouraged me with my business ideas, either products or businesses I wanted to start. And from there, it began to blossom into the self-confidence it took me to continue to pursue ideas and dreams that I have in my mind, the freedom to be able to create things that some other people may not have even thought of. So that's what we're here to do tonight. Tonight, we're going to inspire these teams. Remember, it's important that not all these teams tonight, and parents, you're going to have to bear with us on this. This is the real world tonight. These are real successful folks. You may not be ready. Entrepreneurs will hear no far more times than they will hear yes. Tonight, if they're not ready, they will not get funded, and we're going to tell them exactly why. If they are ready, we're going to fund them, and we're going to support them. Now, those that don't get funded doesn't mean it's the end of the road, because like many, many businesses that I've started over the years, they didn't work out quite the way I wanted in the beginning. But they'll have the opportunity to come back to Mrs. Houskins and Mrs. Timlin and be able to come back to them through their class and try and figure a way. We have some alternative methods to help them if they want to pivot, if they want to continue, and if they have that entrepreneurship drive. So without any further ado, let's meet our judges. Let's get this program started. Cheer them on, and we're looking for some great ideas and some new business opportunities.
Good evening, Kempsville community. The Sharks are back to hear your ideas at Kempsville High School. Hopeful students dream of a chance to make their inventions a reality in hopes of product distribution.
Born in Norfolk and raised in Virginia Beach, Bruce Thompson's career began at age 8, catching and selling blue crabs for 60 cents per dozen, selling Christmas cards, and running 2 paper routes to earn spending money. Mr. Thompson left home at the age of 17 and did not attend college. He worked on a hog farm and in his late teens began organizing national concerts and foosball tournaments. Mr. Thompson, the quintessential entrepreneur, has built, owned, and operated over a dozen different highly successful companies in various industries, including travel, retail, transportation, food and beverage, timeshare, hotel, and commercial real estate. In fact, the travel company he founded became the largest ski operator on the East Coast and evolved into a full-service, wholesale, and retail tour and motor coach company. As First Lady of the Commonwealth of Virginia, Suzanne S. Youngkin provides listening to the needs of Virginians and celebrating the many good works happening across the Commonwealth. By always aspiring to strengthen the spirit of women and girls, the First Lady works on a variety of initiatives to uplift and support women and families. Her efforts largely focus on behavioral health, well-being, and workforce preparedness. Mrs. Youngkin works to connect people with resources and organizations that can provide the tools and information required to support, heal, and enable growth and flourishing. She created the Spirit of Virginia Award to recognize and give thanks to the persons and organizations exemplifying works of goodwill. The award is a testament of the greater good that runs deep and is found in every corner of the Commonwealth. Gilbert T. Bland is a business and civic leader. Mr. Bland has been an owner and operator of restaurants for over 30 years as a franchisee of Burger King, Pizza Hut, and Mrs. Fields Cookies. Mr. Bland is the recipient of numerous awards and community recognition for volunteerism, contributions, and leadership. Burger King Corporation has recognized Mr. Bland with the James McLemore Founders Award for outstanding contributions as a franchisee and endowed a scholarship in his name at James Madison University, as he was a charter member of the BKC Inclusion Advisory Council. Tom Walker is the founder and CEO of DroneUp, an aviation technology company advancing low-altitude airspace modernization. Under his leadership, DroneUp built the world's largest drone services network, managing 55,000-plus independent operators, and within 9 months, launched the largest drone delivery network in the U.S., reaching over 4 million households. Monique Adams launched 757 Angels in 2015. 757 Angels has grown to one of the largest angel groups in the country, with 140 members and investors that have injected over $103 million of capital into startup and early-stage companies. She serves on the boards of the Virginia Innovation Partnership Authority, Reinvent Hampton Roads Biomedical Research Consortium, RVA/757 Connects, and the Old Dominion Athletic Foundation. Recognized as a 2017 recipient of the Women in Business Award and was a 2019 inductee into the Junior Achievement Hampton Roads Business Hall of Fame. Dr. Bonner is an orthopedic surgeon at the Jordan Young Institute in Virginia Beach, specializing in shoulder and knee surgery. He recently completed a term on the Board of Trustees for Arthroscopy, the Journal of Arthroscopic and Related Surgery, and currently serves on the executive board of the Arthroscopy Association of North America, where he is slated to become president in 2027. He served in the U.S. Navy as Chief of Sports Medicine and team surgeon for the Navy SEALs.
Does your team have what it takes to impress our panel of entrepreneurs in hopes to receive funding for your business? Stay tuned for the following presentations.
Please join me in welcoming to the stage Gilbert Bland, Monique Adams, Tom Walker, Dr. Kevin Bonner, and finally, First Lady of Virginia, Suzanne Yunkin. I would like to thank all our judges for being with us this evening. Our teams are extremely excited to showcase the EBA's entrepreneurial spirit. Now we will begin the onstage pitches. Pay close attention because there will be a chance for you to vote your favorite teams at the end of the night during the audience choice portion. First up this evening will be students Safira Karner, Sky Burdett, Mia Mullins, and Kendra Mahan. Please welcome Team Snap and Seal.
Picture this. Your kid has back-to-back soccer games and you're running late. You quickly try and pack a lunch. Peanut butter and jelly, goldfish, and strawberries. Sounds perfect, right? Well, a while later, when you're going to unpack the lunch, you see the food is completely mush in the plastic bags.
Gross.
And you can't use it anymore. Now you're stressed, your kid is hungry, and you have mashed food all over.
Plastic bags fail. They rip, they spill, and they end up in the trash.
At the end of the day, what you need is a compact, mess-free solution that makes your life easier.
That's why we created
Snap and Seal. The problem we are trying to solve are single-use plastics, durability issues, and poor functionality in other brands' products.
Snap and Seal is an eco-friendly silicone storage bag that features a unique, multi-compartment design that allows you to store your everyday essentials in one compact, leak-proof space while your items are also being separated. Our product is made from sustainable, BPA-free, dishwasher-safe, food-grade silicone, making your life a little easier and the planet just a little happier.
I'm Safira Karner, and I'm Chief of Operations.
I'm Kendra Mahan, Chief of Financials.
I'm Mia Mullins, Chief of Technology.
And I'm Sky Burdett, Chief of Marketing.
Our primary competitors are Ziploc bags, Zabium, and Kinline. Through competitor reviews, we have confirmed that Ziploc bags are not sustainable or durable. Similarly, Zabium breaks easily. We know this because we purchased their product, and within less than 1 month, all 10 units broke. Lastly, Kinline. Though most similar to our product, it leaves out some key aspects. So we filled each bag with water to represent any heavy items you may be carrying. Now, I ask that as you hold each bag, you decide which you would rather carry around. Keep in mind, when making your decision, our bag is double the weight as it has double the storage and triple the compartments. So the answer to the question, which would you rather carry around, is pretty obvious. The Snap and Seal. As you can see, our triple compartment design, topped off with a convenient handle, makes our product unique from any other product on the market. See, doesn't the handle just make it 10 times easier?
Our target market is parents, athletes, travelers, and mobile workers, busy people who need reliable solutions.
Our total market is 260 million US adults, making our serviceable, available market 120 health-conscious and eco-aware adults, as well as our serviceable, obtainable market 10 to 15 million early adopters.
We conducted a total of 150 in-person interviews, and here are some of the questions we asked.
Arguably, the most important question that we asked throughout this process was, what is your biggest complaint about plastic sandwich bags? This question allowed us to gauge where our customers' biggest pain points were with our competitors' products and adjust our product accordingly. The largest response we received was waste, meaning you use a Ziploc bag once and immediately have to throw it away. That was followed by price and repurchasing, durability, seal issues, and other, like the lack of versatility in competitor brands' products.
The next question we asked was, would you use this product? And an overwhelming majority, over 96% of our interviewees said yes, they would.
Lastly, we asked, how much would you pay for this product? And our top response was $7 to $10.
Our prototyping began when we used Ziploc bags and cardboard boxes to get a rough outline of what we wanted our product to look like. Then we purchased our competitors and heat sealed them together to get a cleaner look. Finally, we sent this over to our manufacturer, and she helped us create the product that you have in your hands now.
So when making this product ourselves, we purchased 2 bags for a total of 18 cents, and our labor cost was $1.03, making our total prototype cost of goods sold $1.21.
Our retail price is $10.99. However, for wholesale buyers or bulk purchases, we offer a discounted price of $4.50 per unit. That way we are still maintaining a strong profit margin.
Our manufacturer has provided us with quotes based on the quantity of units per order. For an order of about 5,000 units, it will be 86 cents per unit. This means our profit margin when selling retail will be almost 93%. And when selling wholesale, since we are selling for $4.50, our profit margin will be almost 81%. And lastly, for the retailers, such as the Painted Tree, Amazon, and eventually places like Target and Walmart, their profit margin will be almost 60%.
It costs $1.02 to manufacture 1,000 units, totaling out to $1,020. So if we can sell our product for $10.99 and make it for $1.02, our 1,000 unit cost of goods sold would be a roughly 91% profit margin.
It costs 80 cents to manufacture 10,000 units, totaling out to $8,000. If we can make each unit for 80 cents and sell it for $10.99, this raises our profit margin to 93%.
In order to show proof of concept, we plan to purchase 5,500 units of our product. So for 86 cents per unit, our total cost would be $4,730.
Therefore, our revenue projections for year 1 do begin with a deficit of about $3,750. However, our only expense for the remainder of the year is marketing at a cost of $125 per quarter. So in quarter 2, we would profit almost $1,000. Moving into quarter 3, we aim to increase our units sold by 50 units. This would increase our profit to over $1,500. And lastly, in April to June, it is approaching the peak trend area in our market. So we aim to increase our units sold by another 50 units. This would bring our profit up to over $2,000, making our total profit in year 1 over $800.
The marketing strategies we plan to use are word of mouth, social media posts such as TikTok and Instagram. We will boost any of the posts we make, and we are currently in contact with 2 highly followed influencers who plan to show our product on their accounts, and pop-up stands such as
East Coast Shootout. So after tirelessly emailing with tons of different sports associations, we finally got into East Coast Shootout with Rush Soccer. This allowed us to talk to about 40 different people, show them our product, and ask them a few questions. Our key takeaways from this experience were that 100% of people consider easy cleaning very important, as I'm sure all of you do too, making our dishwasher-safe product perfect for you and them. 83% prefer our current size as opposed to larger or smaller. And finally, 90% would like to see different color options in the seal, like pink or blue, or maybe even their favorite sports team's patterns or logos.
We sold 4 samples.
Our manufacturer did send us 5 samples, so we decided to keep one for ourselves, and we kept in contact with the people that we sold them to, so we were able to get them back for pitch night. So we did sell the 4. We made about $45, and currently we have 150 pre-orders.
Our key takeaways from selling these samples is that our product can be used for a variety of functions. It's easy to clean, use, as well as store. And our very first customer said that our product makes the snacking process 10 times easier.
Given the fact that our idea is the very first of its kind, we decided to secure a provisional patent. This will protect our idea for about a year and allow us to establish our business without interference.
So how we plan to use our future funding is $5,000 would go towards product manufacturing, $2,500 would go towards research and development, so like Sky said earlier, with the different sizes and colors. $850 would go towards shipping uncertainty and any emergency funds necessary. $500 would go towards marketing, and finally $150 towards our LLC.
Leading us to our final ask of $9,000.
So in order to break even, we need to sell just over 800 units, and we aim to meet this goal by the middle of year 2.
From carrots
to crayons
to carry-ons,
Snap and Seal keeps it all together.
We hope we've sealed the deal.
Let's bag a better future together with Snap and Seal. Thank you.
Fantastic. And what a great idea. To start some of the questions off, I thought that what would the average family need to purchase? They're $10 a piece. Do you need 4? Do you need 6? Do you need 8? Do you need 10? How do you think, what is the commitment a family would have to make? Couldn't get one for just one of your kids or just for yourself.
We'd really like to expand next year into creating more segments. So currently we only have 3, and our seal is only orange. So we would like it if we could change the color of our seal and maybe even add a favorite sports team's logo, maybe a kid's favorite cartoon character in order to customize them so you could purchase as many as you need. Really, the ideal family of 4, one person, perfect, like each family member would have one so that they could each use it daily for their everyday essentials.
So mom would have to make a $40 commitment to buy for the entire family as opposed to buying Ziploc bags. I mean, how much is a
Ziploc bags? So think, how many times do you say that you would purchase Ziploc bags every week or month?
I barely know what a Ziploc bag is.
The average American family normally spends $70 each year on these Ziploc bags, having to repurchase them weekly or bi-weekly. Plastic bags like Ziploc are also made out of really negative materials that don't biodegrade, whereas our product is made out of BPA-free biodegradable silicone. So our product overall is so much more beneficial not only to you and your family, but also the environment as a whole.
So one last question. Do you think that kids that take their lunch to school are really going to bring these back home and give them to their parents and have them clean them? Is that really a viable idea? I know what my kids might do, but
I believe that they would, because most kids, especially high schoolers, can get kind of embarrassed carrying around a big, bulky lunchbox or even multiple different Ziploc bags. Our product is stylish, and we can make it aesthetically appealing based on whatever you'd like. So say you have a favorite sports team, you could put their logo, you could put their design. So yes, I do believe, and I think as a whole, our team believes that this product definitely could sell, and kids would bring it home to their parents and love it and use it every day.
Hi. I think you did an exceptional job.
Thank
really,
you.
Really good
Thank
job,
you.
girls. I have two questions. One is on the manufacturing side, and then one is on the sales side. So on the manufacturing side, there's a lot of political stuff going on now. Where is this product going to be manufactured?
So our product is currently being manufactured in China, but we are also talking to a manufacturer in the US. Obviously that will be a little bit more expensive just because in China everything can be made a little bit cheaper, but we have sent over our CAD files to our manufacturer and he sent those over to his engineering team, so we're waiting on feedback from that, and hopefully if we get funded tonight, we can make progress with our manufacturer in the US.
Okay, and second part is on the sales side. So sales are really, really critical for a number of different reasons, obviously. Congrats on 4 and the 150 pre-orders. You're only spending $125 in marketing, and I saw your ask was for 500 of that 9,000. I think you're gonna need to spend a whole lot more to acquire customers. Are you flexible? I think you're gonna need a whole lot more of marketing money.
I agree with that. I think that our team also really likes to do in-person marketing because we feel that that's how we can best make a connection with our customer segment. We've already gone to soccer tournaments like East Coast Shootout, and I have connections with coaches at Rush Soccer. So I'm at the soccer fields almost every weekend marketing our product and just making sure that we get people really excited about it. I'm also in contact with the digital sales manager from News 13 that said she could be able to help us out. But yes, exactly what you're saying. We have taken that into consideration, and moving forward, we will definitely keep that in our minds. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
So question, is social media a part of the marketing tools? And
Yes.
if so, what group or person would you be targeting?
I'd say moms, busy workers, travelers. Our product is really unique because it can be folded up super small for backpackers or hikers.
Which media vehicles would you use to target a mom?
Short reels of packing lunches. We gave our product to a social media influencer who does a lot of lifestyle blogging. She typically does videos where she packs lunches for her kids, opens up toys for her kids, and our product is something that she would 100% use. So we gave that to her, she played around with it, and we're working with her right now to see how much it would cost to let her promote our product. But she would do videos of packing lunch, putting stuff in there, maybe even toys, bringing it around, showing her kids playing with it, showing her kids using it, that sort of thing.
To piggyback off of Sky, for posts, we would also like to just show the hassle of like real life mothers and how inconvenient regular or other products can be. So by showing those online, that makes people more interested in our product.
And can you consummate the sale online also, or it's another step to actually making a purchase?
So right now we are working on a website in order to be able to sell through that website.
Also, most influencers have Linktree, so they can put a link to our product, which would be on our website, in their Linktree, which would be in their bio. So if we wanted to do the more social media marketing route using influencers, we could do that as well. They could also link our product in the description of their short reels that they would hopefully post, and that would bring in a lot of people and bring in a lot of people to want to buy our product.
Yes, I have 2 comments. First of all, you did an amazing job. Well done.
Thank so much. You.
I think you're going to really need to factor in customization into your cost model. It's not really built in right now. And so whether it's a company logo on there or more importantly, maybe a name and a phone number, to Mr. Thompson's point, I have 4 children. There's no way my children would have been able to keep up with this. It would have gotten left somewhere on a sports field or in a carpool, someone else's car. So I think customization, honestly, is going to be important on these, and you're going to need to factor that into your cost. And so you might need to rerun that model. The other question I have for you is this capable of holding some sort of packaging that will keep products cool? Because I would think that it could be very advantageous to have that if it's non-sweating, if you could put something in it and it's non-sweating and it could keep something cool.
So to answer your first question, sorry, for the ice pack, yes, you can put an ice pack in the center and it'll keep your food cold on both sides.
Also, great point. I love that customization. We have actually thought about that, and we've allotted $2,500 towards customization. So yes, I do agree that we may need to add a little bit more towards that, but we've talked to our manufacturer, and actually, our product originally came with design on it, and it didn't cost anything to get it taken off. So I mean, of course, that would change if we switched from our manufacturer in China to our manufacturer in the US. So yes, it's a great point. But we do have a little bit set aside currently for that.
Okay, great.
Yeah, great job, by the way, great presentation.
Thank you.
Kind of echo a few things. If you can pull this off for $125 a quarter, I will make you my new chief marketing officer. Secondly, I agree with Mr. Thompson's comment. I mean, my kids at 18, I was lucky if they made it home with their shoes, but that's not my point. My point is, how long are these expected to last? Because you get a customer, you sell it to them, it lasts forever, you're not selling it again, but you're also comparing that this has sustainability beyond the cheap plastic. So have you tested it? How long do these last?
Yes.
Do they go to the dishwasher? How do we clean them up?
We do. So we had a picture on one of our other slides. This can be easily put into the dishwasher by opening up the sections and placing them on the prongs, and the water will shoot up and wash it perfectly. Yes, this one. We have put our product in the dishwasher almost 50 times with each of them, and they look in mint condition. They look almost the exact same as they were, top rack and bottom rack, mind you, and they look great. They work the exact same. The seal works. We've tested that. I think we tested it 100 times, opening and closing the seal, and it worked perfectly. When we tested the Ziploc bag seal, it broke, it became a little flimsy, it just wasn't as reliable as our Snap and Seal is.
So you're estimating that the lifespan of these would be, I mean, if I'm going to buy 4 of these to feed my, I don't know, not my kids, I don't feed them, but if I did feed them, how many of these would I need?
How big is your family?
How often am I buying them, assuming they're not forgotten?
Okay, sure. I'd say that these are a great gift to give as well for people who like to travel. So I'd say 1 per each person in your family, or even more than that if they'd like to have a customized one with their favorite sports teams logos, as we've spoken about, or a customization tag, as Miss Suzanne said.
We haven't been able to fully test how long they last because we've only had these products for 2 or 3 months now. So we can't give you a full determination of how long they're going to last. But from what our manufacturers told us and what we've seen from now, they seem to last a pretty long time because of the material they're made out of. It's very durable.
One comment and question. So regarding, I think one of the major concerns was cleaning, I believe. Sure. A lot of people had concerns. One thing that may be beneficial is to do a demonstration for your prospective, buyers. Show a quick video, like they often do for carpet cleaners and things like that. Sort of show the before and the after it goes through the dishwasher, so that may be helpful. And my second more question is, I think you said the Q inline was your major competition, correct? How big is the market? Meaning, if that's your number 1 competitor, how well are they doing, and how big is the market?
So on Amazon, they've had about 100 purchases in the past month, and their reviews are 3-4 stars. But they don't have the aspects that we have, as in the handle, the triple compartment design, and the buttons at the top for easy transportation.
Mm-hmm. But excellent presentation, very well done.
Thank you.
So one more question, one more comment that I'd say is that, remember, this is proof of concept, right? This is not, we're thinking maybe Ziploc would buy you, or you would get a private equity firm to come in and say, we're going to partner with you so we can get distribution. So right now, you're working on proof of concept. But one of the things that, if I were to take away that a comment that one of the panelists mentioned is, you've got to be able to execute that transaction when they're online. Yeah. So then there's lots of ways for you to be able to do that, but I think you need to be focusing on, somebody goes there, they look at the video, they see how you can wash it, you want to be able to click right then, put your credit card in, and close the sale all in one spot, not make it a cumbersome process.
Sure, that's great feedback. Yes. Thank you very much.
Well, you all did great.
Thank you
Congratulations.
so much.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thank you, Team Snap and Seal. If you like their business idea, be sure to vote for them during the audience choice portion of the night later this evening. Next up will be students Christina Fonda, Jalen Arias, Avery Cartwright, and Emily Vick. Please welcome Team Sandaway.
Imagine this. You're at the beach with your kids. They're tired, cranky, and covered in sand from head to toe. But it's time to leave. You have just 30 seconds to get all of the sand off of them before it ends up in your car, your home, and everywhere in between. Here we have Emily Vick doing a live demonstration of how our product, Sandaway, works at removing sand. As you can see, she has wet sand on to imitate how it is at the beach, and our product is dispensing baby powder through the bristles, making sand removal quick, easy, and effortless.
We know sand is extremely difficult to get off of your skin. That's why when coming up with a product to create, we wanted to fix this issue. From here, we created the product you're holding right now, Sandaway. Sandaway is a compact, gentle, and easy-to-use brush that dispenses baby powder right onto your skin to remove sand while you're at the beach.
I'm Christina Fonda.
I'm Jalen Arias.
I'm Avery Cartwright. And I'm Emily Vick, and we are Sandaway. Meet our ideal customer. We are targeting parents with kids younger than 10, frequent beachgoers, and athletes who participate in beach sports.
Our customers' frustrations were sticky sand, sensitive skin, child resistance, and the time and effort it takes to remove sand at the beach. They wanted an easy way to remove sand and a sand removal tool for sensitive skin.
These are our competitors. Our first competitor is Sandscreen. It costs $19.99, and it can be rough on the skin, and we have tested it ourselves. It's very messy, and it is the most popular out of all of our competitors. This is Powder Pouch. It's sold for $19.99, and it is the same concept as Sandscreen. However, it is more messy and less effective. This is Pro Bum. It costs $24.95, and it is used for skin, cars, and shoes, which shows how rough it can be on the skin. Customers also complain how the long handle makes it very hard to store.
For our product, we wanted a compact, gentle, clean, low-priced, and nice-looking brush. With Sandaway, we accomplished this. As you can see by this list, none of our other competitors check all of these boxes, giving us a positive competitive advantage. We conducted 75 all in-person interviews amongst teens and parents in the coastal area of Virginia Beach. Here are the results we collected from these surveys. The first question we asked was, is sand a problem? We needed to see if this was really a product we should create. 86% of people said yes. Those who said no said this is because they don't visit the beach very often. We then asked, what do you use to get sand off of you? Our top two answers were water or a towel. Neither one of these options are as easy or effective as our product, Sandaway.
We then asked how much they would be willing to pay for our product. Majority of people said between $12 to $17, which led us to price our brush at $15.
The last question we asked was, would you buy it? The majority of people said yes, and we got 0 no's.
For our prototyping journey, we started off with an empty glue stick filled with pipe cleaners to get an idea of what we wanted our product to look like. Then we started using a regular makeup brush and a bottle of baby powder. For our MVP prototype, we had a 2x1 plastic brush with a cap and a compartment for the baby powder. Our biggest piece of feedback we received was to make our brush bigger, and this is what led us to our final product. Our final product is 5.5 inches tall, 2 inches wide, and the brush width is 3 inches. There is also a laser cut insert to prevent the baby powder from spilling out when it's rolling around in your bag or just hanging upside down anywhere. Here are our marketing tactics.
We have been posting consistently on our Instagram, gaining over 16,000 views this month. We have also been, our content has been reposted by 3 separate verified influencers, and we have made posters to put up around the school and different public areas, handed out business cards and stickers at any events we attend, and we have an email list with 50 people on it, and we have 15 pre-orders.
Before we started marketing, we needed to find our market size. Through our research, we found that 180 million people visit beaches in the United States yearly. On top of this, 14 million people visit beaches in Virginia annually.
We sold out of our initial inventory. We sold 7 brushes, making $120. One of our customers donated an additional $15 on top of her purchase to support our business. We are looking into WRV, Coastal Edge, and 17th Street for our potential partners. The owner of Blue Coral Swimwear, which is a local business, purchased one of our brushes and then asked us if we would be interested in partnering with her. We have been in contact with her the past few weeks about selling on her online website and at her store. Here are our financials.
Our cost of goods sold is $2.80 per unit, and $2,800 for 1,000 units, and $28,000 for 10,000 units.
As Jalen said, each unit cost us $2.80 to create. This will make our wholesale price $7, leading stores to sell our product for $14.99. This will give us a 150% profit margin and stores a 53% retail profit margin. Our final ask is $7,000. We're asking for this amount of money so we can have $4,000 for inventory. We are planning to do an initial base order of 1,000 units to show proof of concept. We will buy more units as we sell more and reach our more long-term goals. We are also asking for $1,000 for marketing, $1,000 for legal fees, $500 for our website, and $500 for packaging.
With our brush being priced at $15, we have a $12.20 profit per unit. This will make us break even at month 8, only needing to sell 574 units in order to break even. We do not plan on only selling wholesale, but in the event that we do, with our wholesale price being $7, we have a $4.20 profit per unit. This will make us break even at month 15, needing to sell 1,000 units flat in order to break even wholesale.
These are our projected sales for the first year. We'll have a pretty stable amount of sales in the seasons of fall and winter, a small spike in sales in April due to the amount of spring break tourists in the area, and our peak season is going to be in summer with over 125 brushes being sold monthly. In conclusion, Sandaway helps keep the sand off your skin,
out of your car,
out of your house,
and out of your hotel.
We will help you enjoy the beach
without the mess.
Thank you.
That was another just fantastic presentation, and what a great idea. I'd like to have some in my hotel lobbies, right? I mean, just get those kids' skulls cleaned off before they get up in those beds. And there's nothing worse than getting in a bed that has sand in it.
Mm-hmm.
So I have a couple of questions real quick before we turn it over to our sharks. Packaging. So how do you expect, first of all, I have 2 questions. How would this be packaged? I mean, it looks great, but you can't put it on the shelf, and it's a point of purchase type sale as well, right? If you're going to be in those stores, you need to get it on the shelf in a package that's going to be attractive. Maybe you'd have a sample out, and then they'd have but the packaging is going to be key if you plan on doing it retail as opposed to direct to consumer, or even if you're selling it wholesale.
So we plan on packaging it in a cotton?
It's a muslin bag, and it's a beige color it's like a drawstring bag. And then on the shelves, we'll probably have it in some kind of box. That's how they shipped in a clear plastic box, but we would like a better quality box it's not as flimsy.
If you're going to be in a retail environment, and if I was going to invest with you, and you're going to sell it point of purchase. I would really want to see how it's packaged before I invested in that. The other thing that, it was 4 different competitors, if you will, 4 or 5 that were up there.
Do you want me to go back to them?
No. I think the question's general enough. How many I've never heard of anybody having a tool, if you will, to be able to take sand off their kids and all. How many are they selling? Is the guy with the long brush, or are they some of the others that you have a competitive advantage on, they're selling for $20? Are they selling many?
Our most popular competitor has sold over 1,000 in the month of April, which is not a summer month. We have not been able to check how much they sell in the summer months since we haven't experienced the class in a summer month. But we'd assume probably around 5,000 brushes sold in the summer months, considering how they were sold in the spring and winter months.
Fair enough.
I have a couple questions. So the first one is just on the product itself. If you take a couple little kids to the beach and they decide they want to be sugar cookies and they roll around in the sand a whole bunch, how many of those are you going to need? How long does that powder, I couldn't really tell how are you going to sell powder? Or is it a special baby powder? So how much is that? How far will that go? And then is it special? Is there anything special about the powder?
So our brushes hold 2 ounces of baby powder, and we looked into a wholesale of baby powder that had different scents. And so with our first 7 products that we sold, we let our customers choose between 2 different scents. So they could choose raspberry lemonade, coconut, or unscented. And so that's something that makes it unique, but it holds 2 ounces, and we actually did take it to the beach, and it lasted us a whole beach day.
Around 15 uses is the estimated amount for the 2-ounce container.
Or like a whole leg or whatever.
Mhm.
Okay.
Where do you get the refill?
So what we plan on doing is selling one with our product as a free sample as we're getting started, and then we plan on implementing it into our cost of goods sold in the future. But you can refill it with whatever kind of baby powder you like, or are we doing
We might be planning on doing some kind of subscription service in the future that'll just get it sent right to your house. That way it's not a hassle to try to go find baby powder. But any type of baby powder will work.
So if you're going to sell it to me today, I have to believe that in the future you're going to have some baby powder and you're going to have all the other things that give me some, as opposed to some of the others. I buy the brush, I know I've got the brush and it's going to last me forever, but I'm waiting for you to develop the rest of that and incorporate it into your cost of goods sold. Okay?
Could I have a follow-up question regarding the baby powder, actually? Do you know the different types of baby powder and one of the problems with baby powder that came out in the last couple of years?
the talc?
Exactly.
So our wholesale baby powder is talc-free because most parents don't prefer using talc on their kids since of the scandal of talc baby powder. But they are welcome to use whatever kind of baby powder they want. Even if ours comes with it, they can still fill it up with a different kind if they want.
And I'm glad you knew about that. So Johnson & Johnson lost a lot of money.
Mhm.
They laid off a significant portion of their workforce because of that lawsuit with the talc baby powder. So that is a big negative that's out there in the media. So I think it'll be very important for you to differentiate that your baby powder is not talc baby powder because, that it could be a potential negative for some people. So I'm glad you knew about that. And great presentation, too.
Thank you.
You know, I would make a comment that I don't know where the value add is in the baby powder. I don't know if people are going to smell it. It's an obstacle. It's something else you have to get. I would say that maybe you would consider not having to have the baby powder, and maybe that would lower your cost of goods sold and create some other obstacles to you in development. I'm not telling you to change your concept, but something that maybe you might think about.
Thank you.
Would you speak a little more in detail how you would target moms? What's your approach?
So we are going to start a Facebook account, and we have been posting frequently, and we've been doing interviews and in-person surveys to make sure that if we are reaching our target market, that they are liking what our product is. And so that's one way that we reached moms and parents, and we are advertising it as a way to get sand off of your kids.
Again, one of the influencers that did repost our content was a mom, so I'm assuming a lot of different people in her demographic do follow her, and that'll help get our name out there more with that demographic.
With the brush itself, it's a makeup brush, it looks like, and you mentioned you had like a laser cut thing that controlled the amount of baby powder. That seems like that's the special sauce to me. How are you going to defend this thing? Meaning, what sort of protections are you going to try to patent that little piece? Is that a patentable item? Because it's a brush and baby powder, which are widely available.
At this point, we haven't looked into many legal matters, and that's something we would like to do with our funding. So as of this moment, we don't really know the answer to that question, but we'd like to in the future.
Are you planning on branding it? It doesn't have a name on it or color or, you know, anything like that. What's the idea around branding it?
With our original prototype, as you saw in one of our slides, the black one with the cap, we wanted to create smaller stickers to go on the top with our logo on them. But as we moved to a different prototype, we realized that those size stickers wouldn't work. So we are currently ideating a way to put branding onto our brush.
Okay, that's great. Just factor that into your costs, because stickers, I would assume if you're around a lot of water, you know, it's a product that's going to be around a lot of water. The sticker could get gummy or not look very nice, so you want to make sure it's engraved or something that really holds.
Since the metal band is metal, we are able to add like some kind of engraving to that. It would just increase the price.
That sounds great, and I loved your reference to partnerships. I thought that was brilliant. I think that if you could partner with either a very iconic beach-oriented product, whether that's a sunscreen or a umbrella or, you know, whatever it is, cooler, Yeti, whatever, I think that would be fantastic, and or surf shops. I think that you shouldn't underestimate how you bring value to your partners at point of sale, like Mr. Thompson was talking about, and or they bring value to you because they become aware of your product, so their customers do. So great job, ladies.
Thank you.
All right, so she was nice. That's good. So I'm not your best customer here because I hate the beach because I hate the sand and I don't see me brushing off with this. But so I'm in that 3%.
Mr. Wonderful.
Yeah.
However, I think it's a brilliant idea, and I think that Mr. Thompson had a great idea. I think packaged right here. This is part of the package. Part of this presentation needs to be the packaging. But I want to go back and ask a question. What was the $1,000 in legal for?
So our $1,000 in legal fees are to hopefully get a patent on our product, since all of the China tariffs with them taking ideas from people. We are hoping to get a patent on that brush with the insert and that should probably cost around $600. And then we are looking into looking into our domain for our name. So those are our legal fee costs.
Well, you're going to have to look into lawyers. That's just a part of business, and there's probably some here. And then the last question is, so this isn't refillable. This is, you use this up and then you just throw this away?
No, it is refillable.
Okay. I was trying to take it apart and I couldn't get it apart, so, okay, good. Probably better.
How do you take it apart?
It just unscrews.
Yeah, you unscrew, and that's actually where our laser cut insert is too.
I wasn't smart enough to figure that out. Take all my advice with a grain of salt.
Can I ask what happens if it gets wet?
Dummy, it just dries.
How long does it take to dry? Is it, okay.
It's just a nylon like makeup brush, so I don't assume you've been around many makeup brushes, but it does just wash off with soap.
That's on my wife's side of the bathroom, yes. But, so I have it.
You might want to partner with Snap and Seal and do a cute little waterproof branded bag.
Yeah, and I think
one other question, you may have already answered it, but what was your inspiration to do this?
When we were coming up with a problem to solve, Emily said, I hate sand in my swimsuits. So we said, why don't we solve that issue? And so we looked into the best ways to remove sand, and we found that you should bring a makeup brush and baby powder to the beach. So we thought, why don't we combine that and make it easy to bring it in one go to the beach?
That makes a lot of sense. Well, thank you very much. What a great job.
Thank you.
Oh, excuse me, I'm sorry, you were up there.
Sorry. Do you need any of these? Do you need any of these papers? Okay, gotcha. Okay, I got you.
I do. Okay, I got you.
Thank you, Team Sandaway. If you like their business idea, be sure to vote for them during the audience choice portion of the night later this evening. Next up will be students Cyrus Williams, Skylar Montero, and Mackenzie Tatum. Please welcome Team Bus Buddy.
Imagine this. You're a busser at a small, family-owned restaurant. Your job is to clean off tables quickly and efficiently so all customers can be seated without a delay. But here's the catch. You're hauling around a dirty bus bucket, but with half-eaten food, saliva-soaked napkins, and sloshing drinks. Eventually, you make your way to the dish pit where either you or the dishwasher have to stick your hands in that murky mess to unload it all. I know what we're all thinking. Gross. We're Bus Buddy. I'm Mackenzie.
I'm Skylar.
No, I'm Cyrus.
The problem that bussers face overall is the hassle that come with dirty bus buckets. Additionally, the pose of cross-contamination that come with them. However, restaurant owners face unmotivated and overworked employees, which in turn decreases their sales and increases their wait times. Our solution is the Bus Buddy, a dual-layered restaurant bus bin with one perforated layer and one normal layer that allows for drainage of liquid in separate sections for your plates, trash, silverware, and cups. My teammate Cyrus will now do a demonstration with our prototype. We decided to take our prototype to the restaurant Surfrider to test how long it takes a busser to clean off and reset a table with a standard bus bin in our product. With a standard bus bin for a 2 to 4 top table, it takes 60 to 120 seconds. However, with the Bus Buddy, it takes only 35. To further emphasize how much time is saved by using our product, we also decided to time the dishwasher. As you can see with the standard bus bin, it takes 3.5 minutes to unload and reload, 1.5 to 2 minutes to cycle the dishwasher, and an additional 1 to 2 minutes to take the silverware to the host stand or the plates to the line. However, with the Bus Buddy, it takes only 2 minutes and 45 seconds, with the other times remaining around the same. If you've ever worked in the restaurant industry, you would know time is money. This will save restaurant owners labor costs as their employees are getting things done faster and more tables can be seated at a quicker rate.
So for our prototyping journey, we started all the way back in October 2024 with a 3D printed model of our prototype. From there, we created a dual-layer bus bucket, which we used to time the bussers and dishwashers at Surfrider. Using that information, we created the prototype that you see on the stage today. As a total team, we've collected 60 interviews, with 50 of them being bussers and 10 of them being restaurant owners.
We've asked our interviewees, what challenges did you or someone you know face in the food industry? And from our responses, we concluded the majority of them said cleanliness, with our second highest response being organization, storage, and cleanliness. Other responses detailed similar issues with organization or other. So who even has this problem in the first place? Meet Spencer Todd. He's a 40-year-old restaurant owner located in the Virginia Beach area. He strives on having an efficient, profitable restaurant, but struggles to achieve this goal due to his employees lacking a strong work ethic due to their working conditions. In regards to our market sizing, there are over 700,000 restaurants in the United States, over 22,000 restaurants in Virginia, and over 100 restaurants in the Hampton Roads area.
Additionally, there are 1 or more owners per restaurant and 1 to 2 bussers per shift. Other markets that we're planning on selling our product to include hotel owners and food catering agencies, since they also need to clean off tables quickly and efficiently.
In terms of our competitors, the first one is the LodgeMate busing cart, which has good organization. However, it's very bulky in size and high in price, making it very hard for smaller businesses to obtain. Second is the True Craftware perforated bus box, which has the aspect of drainage, however, it has no way for the water to be collected, so it would end up spilling on tables and floors. And lastly, we have the T-Storage commercial bus tub, which is what most restaurants use to this day. It has no organization and no drainage, and due to the lack of organization, it can cause bussers or dishwashers to get injured on the job with broken glass, forks, and knives inside the container. So for our unique value proposition, Bus Buddy is more organized, more portable, and has more beneficial features like organization and drainage.
In regards to our marketing tactics, we're planning to market our product through frequent social media posts on our Instagram account, word-of-mouth advertising between the restaurant owners that we're associated with, point-click advertising, and email marketing. In fact, we've already begun this marketing process through our connections with Surfrider and the Virginia Beach Restaurant Association. Within Surfrider, we've been able to test our prototype and gain feedback, and recently, we've met with the Virginia Beach Restaurant Association and pitched our product to them. Through this meeting, we've been able to gain a lot of interested customers, as well as a lot of amazing feedback. In fact, Martha Davenport, the executive director of this association, was so impressed with our idea that she is willing to utilize her connections with the Virginia Restaurant Association, which hosts over 12,000 restaurant members, in order for us to pitch our product to them. We also asked our interviewees, how much would you pay for our product? And we concluded the majority of them said $20 to $30. With this information in mind, combined with how much our competitors cost, as well as how much it costs to make 1 unit of our product, which will be explained in just a moment, we concluded that our price would be $27.40.
So for our prototype cost of goods sold, the perforated bus box costs $10.99, and the polypropylene bus tub costs $4.69. With the dish drainer costing $14 flat, the shipping, taxation, and labor fees are estimated to be $16.11, making our total for our prototype to be $45.79. However, for our actual product, which we would be using with the manufacturer, the top layer would cost $3.10, with the bottom layer costing $3.10 as well. With the packaging, it's estimated to be around 50 cents, making our total to be $6.70 for just one product.
So, within our first year of sales, we're planning to direct sell to local restaurants in the Virginia Beach area at a price of $27.40, which would give us around a 50% profit margin. So, by selling 1,000 of our units of our product at this price, our revenue would be $27,400, and our gross profit would be $13,700. After this year, all of our tooling fees would be paid off. So, after our tooling fees are paid off, in future years, we're planning to sell our product through Web Restaurant Store, Restaurant Depot, and our very own Bus Buddy website at a new wholesale price of $19.99 and a retail price of $29.99. So, by selling 1,000 units of our product at this wholesale price, our gross profit would be $13,290. By selling 5,000 units, our gross profit would be $66,450. And at 10,000 units, our gross profit would be $132,000, with our return on investment being almost double what we initially invested in. So within our first quarter of sales, we plan to start off strong as restaurants buy more bus tubs to prepare for the busy summer months.
In quarters 2 and 3, our sales will decrease due to restaurant owners being busy and not having as much time to meet with us, especially because we are a tourist city.
However, in quarter 4, we plan to pick up the pace again with restaurants preparing for the holiday season.
This will give us a break-even point of 511. In summary, we need $14,000. However, tonight, judges, we are going to be asking you for 10 and crowdfunding the other 4. With this $14,000, it will be used to accommodate for our tooling cost, 1,000 units of our product, which we intend to sell within our first year, website cost, a business license, as well as marketing and advertising.
So for the future of Bus Buddy, we plan to expand with customer branding by having businesses' logos on the front of the bus buckets, and additionally a separate section for rags, and also increasing depth inside the bus bucket so more utensils, plates, and cups can fit inside.
We're Bus Buddy, a business for businesses, with the goal of improving the life of the daily busser while also aiding our local restaurants. Join us in revolutionizing the restaurant industry, one bucket at a time. Thank you.
Well, you have a couple of folks up on this panel that know a little bit about the restaurant business. So there's a number of questions that I'd have. That first of all, great idea, great idea. I mean, I think it's a lot of compartments. It may be a little bit cumbersome from that standpoint, but walking into a kitchen organized like that would be very helpful for the restaurant folks. I noticed what it was costing you to tool and to get set up. Is there not a tub that's already out there that's about that size that you could buy already and save yourself a lot of money and then create the other compartments that might be in it?
So we actually tried to do that before with our prototype cost of goods sold, which we bought the items separately. However, it doesn't have the aspects of the food separarization and the organization, so we had to make it ourselves. And in order for us to make it in bulk, we'd have to go to a manufacturer, so it isn't possible for us to buy all the items separately without it being high cost.
So would Surfrider buy your project, buy these? Have you asked them?
Yeah, I do work there currently, and I often do go there to like test my prototype and stuff. And I am in contact with the owner, and he is interested in purchasing our product.
Because he has, what, 6 or 7 restaurants, I believe. I mean, he would be your best testimonial. If you could get him to put them in there and get them working, that would be great. And also, I'll just say this right now, if you do your prototype and you go forward, if you want to bring a couple to us, we'll put them in a couple of our restaurants to see how they work as well. Okay.
Thank you so much for that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm not sure I love your concept, and particularly reaching out to the Restaurant Association. Kudos to you. Good research. I'm curious, and if those contacts are as good as you believe them to be, why you would miss this season in terms of getting it into the restaurant community.
So
I think because it's a busy season, this is your window.
So in order for us to make the actual products, we have to pay the hefty price of the $7,000 tooling fee in order to make a sample for the manufacturer. So we would be on top of it and going to restaurants constantly and giving them out our products, but until we pay that tooling fee cost, we're not able to do that without spending $45 to make one prototype.
I'm sorry. So you said you need 14, but you're only asking for 10.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Which, if you get a chance to ask for 14, you ask for 14. So I'm curious to why you're only asking for 10 if you need 14. I mean, I heard what the alternative was, but why would you do that?
Yeah, we decided to ask for 10 instead of 14 because we didn't want to like highball it and then not get funded as much as we do want. And since we do have such strong connections with a lot of people who are interested in us, we know we could crowdfund the other 4 or even more if we really needed to.
However, you would like to give us the $14,000, we'd be more than happy to take it.
Good answer. I have a comment. And so there's 2 different things going on here. What you guys have established is what we called in my business as a value proposition. So you showed like your competitive advantage and you labeled that a value proposition. That's actually your competitive advantage, the draining and the differentiation. But the value proposition is how you're going to make your customer, the restaurant owners, more money or save them money. And this is a really, really important thing that you guys can do with this, and you've started the research. So I think what I would encourage you to do is to really dig deep the next time that you can get into a restaurant situation and really measure that. How many more table turns will a restaurateur get if they use this product? That's how they make more money. Now they're going to buy them, right? So I would encourage you to really sort of dig deep on those metrics and really have more information. The second thing is, this seems like it's pretty replicable. What are you going to do to protect it?
So in regards to protecting our idea, we are currently unsure whether or not we can get a patent because some components of our idea are already in the market. For example, our second layer of the product is a split bus tub, and there are tons of products already like that out there. However, we are looking into getting a patent for our first layer of our product, which is not really anything like that out there on the market currently.
Okay, thank you.
Could, yeah.
I like
was
your
thinking it's
question,
a sy-
Monique,
but
but
what you have is a system. It's not one individual component. It's a system, organizational system.
Yes, sir.
Where are the different materials being made? Where are these products being made?
So right now we're talking to the manufacturer in China. However, we've met with someone associated with the Restaurant Association, and he's trying to get us another manufacturer in India to see if we can get the tooling costs any lower or to just get to make our product any cheaper.
You're really going to watch that, where they're coming from. I saw your per product costs, and they seem very low, which is wonderful in the way you should aspire to have them, but they're pretty low. The other thing I'd challenge you to think about is shipping costs. Shipping costs are very expensive right now, and unlike the first two products we saw, this is kind of bulky and cumbersome, and particularly if you're delivering 10 or 15 or 20 to a restaurant, you're going to want to think about that and factor that in to your overall fixed cost as well as your profitability or lack thereof if that eats into it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, at the end of the day, you're going to need warehousing. You're going to need a way to get it out there. Again, this is proof of concept. You get 100 of them out, you get 200 of them out, and then all of a sudden, you're going to be looking at a lot of other costs that are going to come in other than your parents' garage, which I'm sure that's where they're going to end up right now.
I'm curious, how did you get Restaurant Depot in your thought process?
So we found that a lot of restaurants buy their products from stores such as Restaurant Depot. So once we have units of our product that are ready to sell, we are planning to market to Restaurant Depot and ask if they would like to have their product have our product in their stores.
But that's a place that doesn't market, those who come in there with knowing what they're going to buy. I mean, I love the research you did, but they will not market your product.
Yeah,
To Monique's question, I think anything that you can find out to help a restaurant save money is useful, but there are probably too many variables in the kitchen and in the dining room, Monique, to isolate any one item.
I would also tell you some of the purveyors like Cisco also sell trash bags and sell equipment and things of that nature too. The salesman's already in the restaurant. It may be somebody that you want to talk to about also adding that to their product line.
But I would think, Bruce, that at that price point, a restaurant tour would be willing to give it a try.
I think so.
Yeah.
I'll give it a shot.
Yeah, and you're really smart to partner with the associations. That's great. One of the nice things for your marketing budget is that you don't have to create a conversation with the consumer. You really run a business-to-business campaign, and there are very effective ways to do that. Trade-specific publications and website destinations, and so your marketing budget can be much tighter in B&B as opposed to the general consumer or influencers, for example, except for maybe there's a busser influencer.
I'm sure there is.
What's the biggest piece of negative feedback you've gotten?
Currently, a lot of negative feedback we get is usually in regarding to our tooling cost. and saying that it's too high, but we are currently working with manufacturers to try and lower it as much as we can. But tooling for plastic stuff like this can range from anywhere from like 7,000 like we have to 35,000. So there's not much we can do.
Well, I'm talking about, you talk about the customers giving you, or the people who are trying to give you all this great feedback, but we know that's not always the case. So somebody is giving you negative feedback on the product. What is that? What's the biggest negative feedback you've gotten?
We've mainly gotten suggestions to make our first layer, like just to sell the first layer, specifically within silicone. However, we don't really know like how that would be manageable due to the silicone potentially carrying bacteria, and that could be a health code violation in restaurants. However, most bussers and restaurant owners that we've talked to, and even restaurant owners and bussers that we talked to tonight, were really impressed with our product and would have said that they would have loved to have it in their own restaurants.
I'll tell you the thing that's going through my mind that I would like to see it in actual operation is I'm concerned about the capacity of that, because it takes up a lot of space inside of that tub with all these other containers. You go to a 6-top or an 8-top, and you're taking all the glasses, all the dishes, and all that. Have you looked at what the capacity, can that bus a table of 6 or 8 people at a table, or do you need 3 of them? You go get one, then have to come back and get the other. There's nothing nastier in a restaurant than the dishwashing area and the bus tub. Acknowledge that. But one of the reasons why they have big tubs is you can take everything and just dump it in and you can get it back there. So I'd love to see, have you all looked at what the capacity of that might be?
Yeah.
Yes, when we did our testing, we looked at how many plates and things it can hold. And I do acknowledge that our current model of our prototype doesn't hold as much as a normal bus bin, but once we get our manufacturing, our costs that you're gonna fund us, we're going to increase the depth of the,
So that's
the
it.
top
Close
layer.
that sale.
We're going
He's
to
already closed it, it
take
sounds
our
like.
first layer of it, and we're gonna increase the depth, so there's only gonna be about an inch difference from the bottom layer of the bus bucket to the top. If that makes sense, I can like show you. Because right now there's like probably a good like 5-inch difference. Like it ends about here, and then this is all open space, which could be filled with silverware and more stuff. But we're gonna increase it so it's about here, so they can hold as much as a normal bucket.
That would be my only concern.
One thing you can consider too, and we do this a lot in medicine, is going to a restaurant with a sample or samples and letting them try it out. And if you think, hey, it's a great concept, it should sell itself. So that's one consideration, is to perhaps come up, create 8 or 10 of them to use as samples, and you just go around to different restaurants, bring it to Bruce's restaurant and say, hey, Bruce, we're gonna let you try this for free for a night or for a week. And then if they're happy with it, they're much more likely to buy it. So that's a consideration.
The other thing that was not acknowledged in Dr. Bonner's intro, he's also gotten numerous patents for different parts of your body you have inside. So he can tell you a little bit about the patent process at some future point as you go through and struggle with that.
So, Mr. Bonner, your idea is phenomenal. We truly love it. That is why, through our direct sales, that's part of our direct sales campaign. So what we would do, we would meet with the restaurants in person, pitch our product to them, say, hey, if you're interested in our product, you can test this out for a week, and if they are interested in our product, they'll be able to purchase it.
Great.
Well, this is great. Thank you very much. What a great idea. What a great
Thank
plan.
Thank you.
Thank you, Team Bus Buddy. If you like their business idea, be sure to vote for them during the audience choice portion of the night later this evening. Next up will be students Grayson Colburn, Arias Nassis, and Maddox Throne. Please welcome Team Beach Feet.
My name is Maddox.
My name is Grayson.
I'm Arias, and we are Beach Feet.
Our problem is sand getting everywhere, including you and your car, and the sticky feeling after the beach.
Now for our solution. Our solution is a simple to use, lightweight spray. You simply shake and you spray it on, wait a couple seconds, and it turns into a powder. You hear it turns into a powder after a little bit, and you wipe it off just like that.
As you can see by our research, we have a pretty big market size with over 3.4 billion visits to U.S. beaches each year and over 14 million visits to Virginia Beach beaches each year.
Now for a competition. First, we have the sand removing powder. It is essentially just baby powder, and I'm sure many of you guys have used that to try and get sand off. It works well at removing sand, but the other issue is you get powder everywhere. For our next competition, we have the sand screen, and we have it right here for you. And what you do is you simply tap and wipe. Only issue, though, is because it's powder inside of the bag, like you can see, like, go like that, powder comes out. So you're going to have wet skin when you do this, and after a couple uses of this, it starts to get like kind of cakey inside of it and doesn't work nearly as well. Now for our interviews, we've done 253 interviews total, and we asked people how often they go to the beach during the summer, and most people said they go to the beach weekly, and out of the people that said they go to the beach during the summer, 74% said they were interested in buying our products.
For our distribution channels, we plan on selling on personal websites, surf shops like 17th Street, Coastal Edge, Atlantic Surf Shop, and WRV. We've both talked to 17th Street and Coastal Edge. They've both asked if we'd be fine with sampling, sell around 300 units in their stores. We also plan on selling on Amazon and in cruise stores.
Now for our prototyping journey, we started off with a simple powder spray, something you'd find in a barber shop. You simply kind of sprayed it on like that. It worked fine, but when we went outside to test it out, like a light little breeze would blow all the powder away, so we knew we had to make the next one pressurized. So now for our stage 2, we had a CO2 canister on the bottom, an 80-gram CO2 canister, and a little powder up top, and you'd simply shake and you'd spray it. It worked fine, but the CO2 canister was expensive, and CO2, if you don't know, can get very cold, so we didn't want that happening or hurting people's skin. Now for our current one, we created our own formula, and we got an Alibaba producer to manufacture it for us.
We are using all of the ingredients listed, but our key ingredient is rice starch, which takes the moisture out of the sand so you can just wipe it off after. And these are some examples of skin-safe products that use some of our ingredients.
For our cost of units, we have a total for one unit of $2.69, with our 1,000 unit price being $2,690. For our revenue model, we have a wholesale price of $6 with a profit margin of 56%, and our retail price being $12 with profit margin of 71%.
Which gives us a break-even point of 501 units.
Now for our ask. We are asking for $6,000, $132 to start up an LLC, another $2,700 to get 1,000 products to actually show proof of concept, another $2,000 for more prototyping to perfect our formula and actually get everything down pat, and then another 1,000 marketing, going to influencers and events like surfing events and concerts and stuff like that. Help us make the beach a hassle-free experience with Beach Feet. Thank you.
I don't know who your competition is, but you might have left one other one out.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've been here all night, but.
Yeah.
Interesting class. This is beautifully packaged.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And
packaging,
I'm
right.
sure there's lots of stuff inside of it that makes it an aerosol.
Yes, sir.
And so go back through again to get this product in this packaging with the product inside. What does this cost again?
What do you mean? What is this called?
What is your
it cost?
net cost to
Oh,
produce?
$2.69 total.
So the product, shipping, branding, and what am I missing here?
Packaging.
The product is only 63 cents, including the can,
Yeah,
the material
everything with that
inside,
is-
and all. At how many units?
What do you mean? How many?
1,000 units?
Yeah, 1,000 units for the 1,000 orders.
So
Not very polite.
that's incredible. And where are you getting this?
So we're getting it produced by an Alibaba supplier right now. We're still in the prototyping phase, and we're just kind of perfecting our formula. And our supplier is in China, but because we're using a formula, we can kind of shift around to India or some other countries that have better tensions with the U.S.
So right now, you can produce this product at 1,000 units for $2.69.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
It's pretty good.
Thank you.
What does it mean when you said you created your own formula?
So it kind of came from the idea. I was like spraying some dry shampoo in my hair one morning, and I saw my hair got all powdery. So we were thinking, maybe we could do something like this for our product, because we were kind of back on the. Can you go back to the prototyping slide? Our second stage of prototyping there, when we were having like that, the little just spray can. And the biggest issue is you can't really just put powder in a bottle and put gas in there and it sprays. It doesn't work that way. So we were thinking, so how can we make this into our own product and not just a dry shampoo, because then there's no difference between that. So what we did is we got kind of basic dry shampoo ingredients, and we looked at the actual percentages that are in most of them. And we tweaked it to be more powdery, and for dry shampoo, sometimes there's a thing called denatured alcohol in there, so it kind of like dries off. Like as you can see when I was spraying my arm, it took a little bit to turn into powder. That's the difference there, but we lowered the amount of that by a drastic bit, but we also want to keep doing that and continuing to make it more personalized to our use.
So, and when you did your test marketing, did those folks actually test the product?
Yeah, we actually gave them the product, and some of them were in our stage 2, but it still worked there as well.
Are there any FDA issues or any other issues that you have to worry about? You're spraying a product on there. You know, you've got seed oil, and that some people are allergic to some of those. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, so that's definitely something we want to work on in the future. Can you go back to the ingredient slide real quick? Yeah, so like popular sunscreen brands use most of these ingredients, and dry shampoo also does in the scalp, which is a much more sensitive area of your skin. The other thing is this isn't our final prototype, and when we do get our final prototype, we want Atlantic Dermatology and other dermatologists to actually approve of all the ingredients in here and make sure it's completely skin safe.
You might need to be at some place like the FDA or one of those types of places that regulate a little bit of that, but. And I have no idea what I'm talking about. I just threw that out there.
Like, is it, oh, go ahead, Mimi, go ahead.
No, well, I just have a couple quick. On the product, how many uses? Do you know the shelf life? And like, I have like residue on my skin. So
Yeah.
if you can comment on those three things.
So shelf life, we are not completely sure on that yet because we haven't had it that long. But the usage, it should last you about 4 to 5 usages. I think we gave you like 2 like kind of emptier cans because we've been using them for making our videos and all that stuff. Can you repeat the last part again? I'm sorry.
Residue. I have residue on my
So the residue, that's like the powder you're talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's like meant to happen. That's what it's supposed to do, spray a little bit on you. The other thing is we're trying to make it a little bit more lightweight by increasing the amount that we spray on you. And the other thing is that would be picked up by the sand because it's supposed to be absorbing sand. So just spraying on your regular skin is going to make it stick a lot more to your skin.
So yeah, I wanted to get that. That was a great question. So you have sand on you. You spray it on top of the sand.
You spray it on top of the sand, yes.
And then you just brush it off.
Yes, sir. Yeah. So sand sticks to your skin because of moisture, and what this product does, it sprays rice starch on you pretty much right up there, and it absorbs the moisture from that and makes the sand extremely easy to remove.
Oh, no. Just from a safety question, back to Bruce's question originally, what is distyroammonium chloride and then centramonium chloride?
I don't know, but it smells really good.
It's an ingredient.
It does smell good.
It's one of many ingredients in denatured alcohol. It's a very Actually, it's very skin friendly. It promotes actually skin growth.
And the other thing is it's also very smooth on the skin as well. We'll get into more specifics like when we actually do like our final product. And the other thing is we're trying to cut down our ingredients list by a bit, because when you see a big ingredient bottle, you're not going to be all that happy. But I mean, if you look at sunscreen, you look at all these products, they have massive ingredient lists, but we still want to be as like skin safe as possible and all that. So I understand.
And not just skin safe. You know, a mother might ask, one of my kids just sprayed it in my other kid's eye. Now what do I do?
Yeah.
How safe is it? So things like that you're going to have to address at some point.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Actually, speaking on that, you really can just rinse out your eye with water and you'll be fine.
It's just a powder at the end of the day, because when it evaporates off. So essentially when you spray it on, there's a little denatured alcohol on you. Like, I'm sure you saw like the little wet part, and then it's dried off. So that dries off, and then it leaves the powder on you, because like I was saying earlier, you can't just have powder in a bottle and pressurize it. It doesn't work that well when you do that. So that's why we have to have that in there. But.
Okay.
Have you heat tested it? Because obviously this product is going to be in a beach bag or in a hot car. What happens then?
So so I was in contact with our manufacturer yesterday, clarifying a couple things. So they are a dry shampoo manufacturer, and they kind of follow most of the dry shampoo like regulations and all that, like with the norms for all that. And the main thing was it was safe to like 150, 180 degrees was like when it became a little cautious. But until that point, it's completely safe.
And at that point?
What'd you say?
You said until that point it's completely safe.
At that point, it
After
gets
that.
Yeah, it can become a little bit safety hazard, but I don't think, you know, it gets 180 degrees outside, so it should be good.
I agree.
All right, so so sad for you. This is the second time I've got to say this tonight. I hate the beach and sand, so I'm not your customer. But
Yes, sir.
what is your plan for this? And by the way, I do. I smell pretty. What is the plan for this beyond sand? What other applications? I mean, you got a seasonal. It sounds like you got a lot of competitors. I've met another one tonight. So what else can you do with this?
So you can actually, we've tested it with dirt a little bit. It does work, but not as well.
Dirt?
Dirt. Like when you're playing sports, you get dirty. Like
We're saying like baseball and all that stuff, like you get dirt on you, you're all sweaty. That could be an application we can possibly work on in the future. But we definitely need to tweak our product to be more kind of powder beat. Like, you know what I mean? Tweaking it more and more to get it to that point. Sorry, can you add on to that question a little bit?
I was just curious if you'd have thought about how you could expand your market beyond just sand.
We haven't done too much thinking about that, but one thing we have been thinking about, and a lot of people have been mentioning it, is, you know, the futsal tournament. Like, there's a lot of futsal around here, sand soccer. And they have a big tournament on like June 7th and 6th. So that's definitely something we want to go to, because they're all sandy after the games, and if we can show off our product there, that's definitely something we can get into, like the sports market, volleyball, and all of that.
When you say you're tweaking your formula, who's doing that? Are you guys in your garage just coming up with different combinations, or what are you doing to sort of optimize your formula?
So when we optimize our formula, like we just did, we have another batch coming in like a week or two or something like that. But we get into contact with our manufacturer, and we're saying, well, these things are happening, like we want it to dry faster, we want more powder coming out, and maybe we want it to last longer. And he'll tell us, well, if you want it to last longer, we'll have to add more aerosol or more powder, and that can increase the pressure, causing safety hazards, especially when it gets in hotter temperatures. And when we're tweaking the formula, though, he tells us exactly what happens, because they have a lot of experience with this stuff. So it's just kind of like a play, like we're trying to do something, and they say, this is what's going to happen, so we just kind of have to work that out and balance it.
Okay.
I think one nifty marketing idea would, again, for you to partner with, because I think partners are important, like you said, like the overarching beach volleyball, competitive beach volleyball leagues, et cetera. And if you could get some sort of endorsement from them and have that on the can, you know, endorsed by whoever it is, that could be a neat partnership that would elevate your stature and give it some cred, you know, straight away.
Yes, ma'am. Yeah,
so, because this is a kind of a targeted, unique audience.
Yes, ma'am.
That
Yeah.
speaks to one another, surfers or beach volleyball or something like that.
Yeah, he's a surfer himself, so he'll definitely like bring it around and show people how it works
There
and
you
all
go.
that. So.
Another great partner potentially might be one of these suntan lotion companies, because they already have the distribution, they already have the network, you're not competing with them. This could be a value add, and that may be something that somebody may want to take you out at sometime in the future or something of that nature.
That's definitely something we want to do in the future. we want to get our formula kind of like down pat, make sure we have everything needed, and because that's why we were asking for so much for prototyping, because we ordered 15 of these, and because we had to do a custom formula and all that, it's not easy for a supplier to just kind of throw away what they normally do and change what they're doing. And it cost us $200 to get us 15 of these, like just changing up one ingredient, a couple ingredients on it. So it's definitely going to take us a little process to get there, and we definitely think that that could be a good idea, partnering with a sunscreen company that has those resources to make that happen a lot faster, and that's definitely an idea for the future.
Good. Anything else? What a great job.
Thank you.
Thank you.
What a great job. Very well done.
Great job.
You're done.
Okay, thank you.
You're done.
Thank you, Team Beach Feet. If you like their business idea, be sure to vote for them during the audience choice portion of our night later this evening. The next team of the night will be Giovanna Badalana, Delilah Burnett, Maya Glick, and Samaya Windley. Please welcome Team Coastal Cover. Damn. Bro, that was like the hardest. Their names, I can't do it anymore. Delilah's mom was like, it's Burnett, not Burnett. So I was like, Delilah Burnett. I know. Like, she was like rude about.
It's a windy day at the pool. Giovanna and Delilah are now at the pool, and Giovanna is using our bag coaster cover, whereas Delilah is using a generic beach bag. Hello? Okay. Okay, just start over. 1 second, guys. Okay, good. Yes. Absolutely. Okay. Giovanna and Delilah are now going to the pool. It's a windy day, and Giovanna is using our bag coastal cover, whereas Delilah is using a generic beach bag, towel, and clips. Giovanna is tightly securing her towel on using our elastic strap at the bottom.
Why carry a bag when your towel can do it all?
We're Coastal Cover,
where innovation meets relaxation.
I'm Samaya.
I'm Maya.
I'm Delilah.
And I'm Giovanna.
As seen, towels tend to be hard to keep secured onto your beach or lounge chair, whether it's due to wind, weight, or lack of grip. This can create annoyance when laying out. We've done the research and we've realized that many others deal with this same exact problem, so we're here to solve it.
This is our first prototype. We started off with a sketch of a normal towel with drawstrings at each corner. Once you pull the drawstrings, it would turn into a circular bag.
Then we created our first functioning prototype. This prototype included a totally different design as it had a pocket that slipped over the back of your chair instead of the drawstrings.
For our third prototyping journey, we wanted to focus on our design and functionality, with colors such as pink, yellow, and prints, and the overall function of our bag.
Our solution is a luxury dual-use beach towel that converts into a beach bag with hidden features such as zippers, hidden pockets for your phone to keep your items safe from theft or water damage, all while ensuring your towel is tightly secured onto your lounge chair.
That's not going anywhere.
Here you can see our top two competitors, which are towel clips and towel bands. And as you can see from the thousands of customer reviews, they dislike how easily they break and how they don't even keep your towel in place. However, Coastal Cover solves both of these problems.
This is our unique value proposition. These components make our product different from our competitors, including storage, portability, adjustable strap, reduced towel slipping, and hidden pockets.
As a team, we've collected 180 interviews. These interviews were conducted at a local retail store by our potential customers.
We wanted to start off with which gender was most interested in our product, with majority being female.
We then asked if people have the problem of their towel slipping off of their chair. Majority answered yes.
Our next question was, would you buy our product? 95 of our potential customers said yes, whereas 5% said no because they didn't find their towel slipping to be an inconvenience.
And for our last interview question, we asked, how much would you be willing to pay for our product? With most people responding with the $35 to $40 range.
Here you can see our customer segment, which includes loungers, people who go to the pool, cruise passengers, and guests at local resorts and hotels. We found this information because most people who answered yes they would buy our product fell into one of these categories.
Which brings us to our market sizing research. We found that the global towel market is expected to grow from $33 million in 2027 to $49 million in 2032.
For our marketing tactics, we want to market through social media such as Instagram and Facebook, posting things like our product and giving frequent updates, as well as pop-ups down near the beach and promoting our product through friends and family.
For our first prototyping cost of goods sold, our terry cloth was a hefty amount of our pricing, coming out to our total COGS per unit being approximately $20. Now for our final prototyping cost of goods sold, our terry cloth is now down to approximately $3, which makes our total COGS per unit approximately $11.
This is our 1,000 unit COGS. We found to make one coastal cover, it would take approximately $9.
For our pricing research, we decided to research the average cost of a beach towel, towel clips, and a and beach bag so that we could tell how affordable our product would be. And it averaged to a total cost of around $50, which makes our product very affordable and convenient. And so with all of this in mind, our direct sale unit price would be $34.99, which will make our profit for direct sales around $26, and our wholesale unit price would be $19.99, which will make our wholesale profit $10.88.
For our channels, we want to sell our product through as many businesses as we can, such as beach resorts, cruises, hotels, beachfront stores, online, and water parks. And we love the idea that these businesses will be able to monogram their logo onto our product to give their customers as a keepsake.
For our sales for the first year, in January through March, we will be selling 400 wholesale units to local hotels such as the Cavalier. In April through May, we will be selling 180 wholesale units to local boutiques. In June through August, we will be selling 300 direct sales units at pop-ups, local family and friends. And in September and December, we will be selling a total of 120 wholesale and direct sales. And we will be breaking even at 376 units direct sales. And in summary, we will be selling 1,000 units, which makes our total profit $16,000.
Which brings us to our pre-orders. As of last week, we had 64 direct sale, 30 wholesale, and 94 in total. As of now, we have over 100. This is our
And in the future, we will be talking to local stores, meeting with Ocean Breeze in the beginning of 2026, and co-branding with resorts and cruises.
Our total ask is $10,000, with $9,110 going towards manufacturing materials, $100 towards a business license, $290 for marketing, and $500 for a rainy day fund.
In conclusion, say goodbye to towel drama and hello to the ultimate lounging experience. Coastal's Cover is here to keep you covered.
Literally.
So grab your snacks, settle in, and let the lounging begin.
Thank you.
Again, you killed it. I like that Kempsville Hotel, like just a little bit larger print for everybody out there. First of all, this is cool. The rope,
Thank you.
the
Thank you.
look, it's really, I think it's really great. But how big, the backs of our chairs in our resorts, I also own a beach company, which aside from that, all of the chairs and umbrellas and things like that you see in Virginia Beach and some other markets like in Florida, we own that company as well. Our chairs are a lot thicker. How deep is that? If somebody wanted to, I mean, will it really fit over? I mean, it fits nicely on these beach chairs, but people are looking for a little bit heavier lounger. I didn't notice. I was going to do that. It looked like there was plenty of room.
It's pretty deep, yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say it looks pretty deep, right? So I guess my other question is, who is your primary customer?
Our primary customer is mostly teenagers because those are the people that don't bring a lot to the beach or just are going to the beach and not really just reading a book or just lounging out. We kind of were going towards parents and families, but then we realized that mothers were bringing multiple towels, which means that they wouldn't really have to need our product and they would need more and more of different products. So we were going towards teenagers. Mostly.
To piggyback off of Samaya, though, let's say you're staying at a hotel resort, beach resort, wherever you're staying. It could be anybody of any age, since it's usually you individually. You're going to throw in your flip-flops, sunscreen, a snack, and you're going to just head down to the pool. So we want to market to any age, but we do have interest in marketing towards teens.
Do you think a teenager would actually spend that much money to have a beach towel that they could take to the, y'all, would y'all spend that? Would you go into a store and spend $40 or $45 to get this to be able to put all your stuff on to go to the beach?
I personally would. Me and I believe many other girls, like all of us, we love to tan. We love to tan. So I would invest in something like this because it's something I can use anytime I go to the pool or anytime I go to the beach if I really wanted to use it. So it would be something convenient that I would spend my money on.
Teenage guys?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
We are going to expand in our colors. We're not just doing pink, but as you can see, we have blue. We want to do yellow or even prints. So we're hoping to expand on that later on.
Okay.
My brother loves to tan, so this would be perfect for him.
You don't think he's going to get kid joked by carrying a purse to the beach?
No.
We hope not.
I think it's great.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Great presentation. I'm a big beach fan, if y'all haven't heard. So, I love this idea.
Mr. Wonderful.
But I have two questions for you. One is, you said $5, which is a pretty significant chunk of money, and you put as a labor cost. How did you calculate that?
So basically, the labor cost was just from somebody that was local towards us, like a friend of our mentor, and she said that she would do it for around $5, which is why we put our labor cost at that. Right now, when we will be talking to Jing Sourcing, our labor cost most likely will go up, especially because it's in China. But for right now, our labor cost is $5 because of who we contacted.
And you said you think if you go to China, it'll go up?
It might, yes.
And then the second question is, how do you prevent this, or who's marketing? Who's the marketing person? You have a marketing? You're just all doing it? Okay.
We all do.
How do you differentiate this from being a gimmick to a luxury item? Because you refer to it as a luxury item, and I could see that, but I can also see it being kind of gimmicky. How do you differentiate that? How do you make it a luxury item versus a gimmick?
So to differentiate us, we wanted to make sure that the material that we used for the towel was thick enough to absorb water. It would be able to be durable, especially with the rope, and as well as the adjustable strap. It also includes the pockets and the hidden pocket under to keep your valuables in there. So I feel that differentiates us to make it more a luxury product.
To add on to that, if you guys look inside your goodie bags, we actually gave you guys samples so you can feel how plush and absorbent they can be. It's Turkish cloth, so.
You know, that brings me to another question. I still need a towel.
I'm gonna make it a luxury bed.
Right?
Cavalier on it.
To dry off.
That's a good point.
So
Right.
this-
I'm not gonna take that off
Yeah,
the
let it
chair
even
and dry off.
question it, you know?
So once you're done, what we would hope is that you would be able to use this bag to dry off. You can put all your stuff in the pocket away so it doesn't get affected by the dampness of the towel, and then you can just pack up and head back.
Well, so in other words, if I put that on my chair and I'm laying out there tanning, I go jump in the ocean, I gotta take that off my chair, the towel off, and then put it back on the chair?
To answer that question, you could just unclip the strap at the bottom, and basically it lifts up, so like it'll lift up so you'll be able to wipe yourself off.
A question. This goes to marketing and how you're going to acquire customers. So I appreciate the demonstration, but if I'm looking at this on the shelf and I'm trying to think about how it'll sit on the shelf, I'm really not going to understand the utility of it. So what is your plan? Because to me, if you're selling to hotel and resort owners, then they're going to understand the utility, right? But if you're trying just to go through WRV and you're going to have them rolled up really cute on a shelf, I'm curious how you think people are going to understand the value that this product offers.
So for our packaging, we were thinking about towel belly bands, and that's basically that cardboard that goes around towels so you can still feel and look. And we were also thinking about adding instructions on it or like a pamphlet that comes with it.
As well as if we were to do pop-ups, and as well if we were to sell our product in WRV, we would want to have some kind of table display, especially with a demo, so that the customer really sees what they're gonna be buying.
Question. Is presumably the rope is washable? Because I would
Yes.
think this would need to be washed.
It's a cotton rope, actually.
Cotton
Yes.
rope.
And we have washed it 5 times, and nothing has tore, nothing has like shed off. It's been good.
And that's the same for the pocket protection on the bottom? You put that
Yes.
through the washer? And
That's
it's
actually a mesh bag,
It's
that goes in
resilient.
the laundry, yeah.
Okay. Have you tried to carry the bag when the towel is wet? The only reason I ask that, ladies, is that it's heavy. That's a heavy bag. It feels wonderful, but if you're in a bathing suit and like we are, if you're in a bathing suit and that rope's on your shoulder and it's really heavy, I would just encourage you to maybe look at the cottons or the fibers that are both soft, but that also when they get wet don't really hurt you if you're small and you're trying to carry that when it's wet and it has items in it. So
That's a great point. Thank you.
just something to think about.
We'll definitely think about that.
I thought that was a wonderful presentation, girls. One question, what do you say to Mr. Thompson when you're trying to sell him your towels and he has his hotel? One concern would be, it seems like a lot of people will bring their bags from their room down to the beach or down to the pool, but the hotel will have their beach towels down at the beach, at the pool, or you can take them out to the beach itself. So you sort of start off in your room, you need a bag. So then the question is, do you need this at a resort if you're gonna go from your room with your things, your book, your suntan lotion, down to the beach, and they're gonna give you your towel or set up your towel at the pool or at the beach for you? What do you say to Mr. Thompson who says, well, girls, that's the way it works at my resort, is you come from, your room down to the pool or down to the beach, and you really need a bag separate than the towel because we set up your towel.
So we do know that our product is more of a want than a need, but let's say in a situation I'm staying at a hotel and I forget my beach bag. This is something that you could go down to the store, as well as the monogramming. It'll represent their business, and you can also have it, as I said, a keepsake, so you can remember your stay at the place that you are staying at, such as the Cavalier. Yeah.
I don't have any questions. A wonderful presentation.
Thank
Maybe
you.
partial answer to Kevin's point is pay a royalty to the Cavalier and use their imprimatur on your towel.
Let's just go ahead and put it right on the old Cavalier. I think that from my perspective, I would love to hear as you sort of think through it about where the value proposition is for me or why I would want to invest in it. But I can see from your perspective finding a way to Mrs. Youngkin's comment and all, to find a way that the young ladies like yourself and guys could find a way. I mean, I think it's kind of cool. You can put everything in a bag, put it there and lay it out. I still think you're going to need a towel too, but anyway, but it's a great presentation. Thank you all very much.
Thank you so much.
Great job.
Thank
ladies.
you.
Thank you, Team Coastal Cover. If you like their business idea, be sure to vote for them during the audience choice portion of the night later this evening. Next up to the stage will be Alex Barton, Mia Joffrey, Kaden Guglielmini, Trinity Reardian, and Piper Werby. Please welcome Team Belevate.
Wait, guys, where's Alex? I don't know. He told me he had to bike to school today, so maybe he's running late?
Yeah, where is he?
Sorry I'm late, guys. The spiky spikes just really hurt my feet. And I had to stop it every stop to get here.
Hello, I'm Kaden.
I'm Mia.
I'm Trinity.
I'm Piper.
And I'm Alex. And we are
Belevate. Elevating your barefoot biking experience.
One pedal at a time.
We interviewed 113 coastal residents for if they ride their bike or not. 86.4% said that they do ride their bike. And out of those people, 80% said that they ride their bike barefoot, which shows that we have a market for our product.
The problem is when biking barefoot, bike pedals are spiky and can be slippery.
The spikes might work for grip on shoes, but not on bare feet. Here's an example of one of my friends slipping off the bike pedal and getting injured. His injury costed 8 stitches.
When interviewing our coastal residents that bike barefoot, if they buy a bike pedal cover device that provides padding and grip for their bare feet, 91% of them said yes.
So we created Velevate, a double-sided bike pedal cover that provides both grip and padding. The grip so that your feet don't slip off while riding, and the padding so that the spikes on the pedal don't poke through and injure your foot. Here's a demonstration of how our product easily slides onto the pedals on the bike.
We mainly plan on targeting people who live near the beach, people who enjoy riding their bikes, and people ages 12 to 40.
Our competitors consist of companies that make bike pedals themselves, but not bike pedal covers. Are the competitors just choosing to wear shoes while riding? Here's some negative examples of some reviews from our competitors. Some said that the grip was not amazing, and we solved this with high-quality heat transfer vinyl. Some also said that it didn't last 30 miles, and we solved this with high-quality stitching and neoprene padding. Lastly, they said it was difficult to install, and ours doesn't have any bearings. You can just slide it right onto the cover.
Wait, Kaden, does our product even last 30 miles?
Actually, Trinity, yes it does. We biked over 31 miles to prove that our product can last. And as you can see, there's virtually no difference biking 31 miles.
You may ask, why not just wear shoes? Well, first,
Sandy feet rubbing against your shoes can be very uncomfortable and cause abrasion, blisters, and more. Secondly, shoes are another item that you have to bring, which means it's taking up room in your bike basket or your beach bag. And lastly, riding with shoes causes an inefficient foot movement. In fact, Cycling Europe says that pedaling barefoot adjusts your pedaling motion to be more natural.
Our product is extremely unique. This is because it's easy to use, as it just slips straight onto the bike pedals. It's also adaptable because of the stretchy neoprene fabric that can fit on any size bike pedals. It's comfortable, and it's a fun bike pedal accessory that adds a pop of color and design to your bike pedals.
As you can see, we first started with a cardboard mock-up of what we wanted our product to look like. Then, we created a 3D printed version with inserts. After that, we decided to completely simplify our product and began using neoprene padding and a heat transfer vinyl to represent our grip.
This is our current prototype, and it's made of neoprene padding that slips onto the bike pedal like a sock. There's also puffy vinyl on both sides of the pedal cover that show our logo and provide grip.
Wait, Alex, isn't this just a koozie?
Well, Caden, regular koozies are only 2 millimeters thick, and ours is 5 millimeters thick. When you're using a regular koozie, the spikes might poke through and injure your feet. We also have the grippy vinyl logo, which the koozies don't have, and we also have a more narrow bottom to fit the bike pedal.
Our channels include bike shops such as Trek and Conti's, online stores, retail stores, as well as surf shops such as WRV or 17th Street.
This is an example of what our product would look like if we co-branded with Gold Key or WRV.
For marketing, we've accumulated over 10,000 views on just 2 videos on Instagram. We've created a YouTube, a Facebook, and a TikTok. We've also purchased a website domain for our product.
For our current cost of goods sold for our prototype, we ordered neoprene padding as well as thread, vinyl, and packaging costs, as well as used our labor costs to total one pair of our prototype to be $8.27.
However, we could drastically reduce this cost to $2.46 per pair by bulk manufacturing our product. Also, we are in touch with Jinx Sourcing to further drive down our product cost. Considering our bulk cost of goods sold, we can wholesale our product for $8, leaving us with a profit of $5.54. In turn, our retailer can sell our product for $14.99, leaving them with a profit of around $7.
This leads our profit margin to be 69%.
In our first year of wholesaling, during the early winter months, we expect low sales. However, as the summer approaches, we expect our sales to increase exponentially. Then, during the cooler fall months, we expect a small decrease. However, again, as the holidays come by, we expect a large increase. In total, we are expecting $12,410 in profit.
For our total addressable market, there are over 13 million people who ride their bikes barefoot at the oceanfront, and this would generate over $200 million of revenue for our company.
Our serviceable addressable market is approximately 800,000 people, which would give us a revenue of almost $12 million.
For our serviceable obtainable market, we would have around 500,000 people. This would generate us over $7 million annually.
We are asking for $2,000 for legal fees, including establishing ourselves as an LLC and getting our business license, $2,500 for materials, which will get us 1,750 products and will be used to establish proof of concept, $2,000 for manufacturing, and a $500 rainy day fund. In total, we are asking for $7,000.
Our break-even point is projected to be at 1,263 units, which will happen during our first year of sales.
The next steps that we're going to take are adding straps to the pedal covers so that they won't slip off on smaller bike pedals, such as kids' bike pedals. We're also going to be contacting surf shops and keeping in touch with our manufacturer.
In conclusion, we aim to elevate your bike and beach experience, and we need your help to make it to the next stage.
Now put the pedal to the metal and ride to success with
Velevate.
Thank you. Any questions?
Thank you.
Great job. Koozies. do people really buy koozies? Or is it a marketing concept for beverage companies, restaurants? I mean, when I think of this product, not that someone wouldn't buy it, but to get somebody to go in and buy it, spend $14, as opposed to if you could find those folks like the surf shop or like the bike shop or like where it's a value add, it's something I think there's a great market for this. But I'm worried about it at $14. Would somebody really go in? I would think about it along the lines of the way koozies are distributed. But I think it's a unique idea, but I'm worried that would somebody that has a bike that's riding on the boardwalk go out and spend $14? But would some of the restaurants and bars and surf shops and so on or bike shops that are selling that want to brand it and get their name out there on all the bikes? I mean, I could see a lot of applications. That's just a comment.
Thank you.
Can you tell me how you came up with the TAM, SAM, and SUM on this? You didn't really address it. You just said addressable and kind of went through the numbers, but it seemed kind of random to me. I'm just curious to how you came up with those.
So we started addressing our TAM, SAM, SUM by first taking the total biking population in America, which is around 80 million people per year. And then we took a rough estimate on that based off our interviews we conducted locally. So about 0.1% of people, which is how we got to our total serviceable market of 14 million people.
I'd just like to start and say you guys did a great job.
Thank you. Thank you.
As a parent, I'm struggling with this because I would tell my kids, no, you just put your shoes on, you're not gonna stub your toe, you're not gonna end up falling. And so I'm sure you've gotten pushback like that. How are you guys addressing that?
So most of our reviews, as you can see, we interviewed 113 people, and they're all coastal residents. So it's kind of hard to understand if you don't live by the beach.
I live by the beach.
I think that it's also we're less of pushing people to use our product if they don't face this problem already. But if you're already, people know that it's not as safe for you to ride without shoes, but people are still doing it and still have this problem. So it's more of a product for the people who are still doing it.
Got it. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah, to piggyback on that, I'm curious about the bike manufacturers. And the reason those pedals have those spikes on them is for safety purposes. And they obviously are going to be concerned about liability and safety. So it would be, I would be curious to have you all talk to, I didn't see it in your presentation, but talk to bike manufacturers and just double check that they are not going to feel prickly or vulnerable that you're modifying their product. Because if the bike manufacturers aren't a partner with you on this, or at a very minimum would tell people not to purchase these, that could be a stumbling block for the marketability of the product. Another thing you might think about, again, is how you could make this with a sticky surface. I mean, I know you have this wonderfully embossed thing. It has a little bit of texture, but maybe there is a way to actually make those slippery, spiky pedals more safe when your foot is wet or when you are barefoot. And if you could come up with a proposition like that, something that bakes in the safety, then I think it would have more monetary and saleable value.
Okay.
So just
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
The other concern along those same lines that I would have is that pedals are different sizes. If that was too big for a pedal, it could be very slippery. The whole thing could rotate and all. I mean, I'd like the idea when you all address the fact that for children that the pedal would be small and you'd have a clip on it. But if that was, or a band that would hold it on the other side, then maybe the same thing could apply for another pedal that's not there where it wouldn't rotate around. I'd be concerned that as you're pedaling that this thing would start moving around on there. And maybe it's supposed to be some type of material that stretches tight over top of of the pedal itself.
But they did say they were adding a strap, right? Didn't you say that that was?
Yes.
Yes.
But also, neoprene is a pretty stretchy material already, and based off of our research, we found that bike pedals don't really differentiate that much in size. It's only about an inch at most, like from the smallest to the biggest one. And so we found that like the size that we're using right now works almost perfectly for any size, but then if you do have a relatively smaller size bike pedal, that adding straps will make it so it won't be able to twist and turn.
And to piggyback off of Piper, what we found through our research is the smallest bike pedals that we could find ranges from 2.5 inches to the biggest bike pedal being 4 inches. So we create a 3-inch cover to go around 2 inches and stretch around the biggest 4 inches.
It's good that you did that.
Thank you.
Have you guys ever thought about one thing, putting potentially reflectors on the side?
Yes.
Yes,
That's
we have
one thing you could potentially consider to sort of add safety. I mean, I would agree, with Ms. Adams that basically we see a lot of injuries from kids not wearing shoes, and the same thing as a parent. I'm going to tell my kids, you need to bike with shoes on, but I get your point, kids do it anyway. But if you can at least add, some safety component, kids riding their bike at night, if you put reflectors on the side, that may be a little bit value added. So something to consider.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, one last question from me. I didn't notice any marketing budget in your ask. Why is that?
So currently, we haven't considered a marketing budget because for the first couple years, we plan on going through our mentor's pop-up shop, so setting up pop-up shops around the beach at his place, and marketing through social media, which is primarily cost-free.
At his place.
So, the one thing that I'm always concerned about each year when we do this, and when we go back into the classroom and we talk to them, is that you're doing proof of concept. Theoretically, we take the assumption that when you get into mass production, some of the costs that you have today will offset some of the costs that you're not, that somebody else will see the product and be able to find efficiencies that you can't have today, but they've got a lot of additional added costs like we're discussing today that you're not contemplating. Insurance and rent and salaries and all that stuff all go into your product cost. You're doing it now for free. So just for the benefit of everybody in the audience, we know that this is not your true cost of sales today because there's lots of other overhead factors that will come into play. But if you can prove proof of concept in private equity, or you have a partner, or you find some other way to raise capital to be able to get it to larger numbers, clearly you're going to find some efficiencies. You might be able to produce that for 14 cents overseas at the end of the day. So right now what we're trying to do is get it off the shelf, get it there. You have a cost of sales today that's probably not realistic in two respects. One, you're not including a lot of overhead, and two, you're not taking into account the efficiencies that will come when you go, if it takes off doing 10,000 of them.
Thank you.
Okay.
Well, that's great. Thank you all very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Team Belevate. If you like their business idea, be sure to vote for them during the audience choice portion of the night later this evening. The last team of the night will be Riley Rivera, Isabella Thompson, Savannah Askew, and Cullen Price. Please welcome Team Surfside Sprayer.
Surfside Sprayer. Beach days made easy. Chill, rinse, and relax.
Picture this. You've just spent a fun day at the beach with your family. The sun is setting and it's time to pack up, but your little ones are completely covered in sand. It's in their hair, between their toes, and now all over your car seats. What if there was a simple way to rinse off before heading home? That's where Surfside Sprayer comes in. An easy, mess-free solution to wash away the sand and keep the beach where it belongs. Hi, I'm Izzy.
I'm Savannah.
I'm Riley.
And I'm Cullen.
Meet Surfside Sprayer, an attachable water sprayer that seamlessly fits coolers with drain plugs, taking the melted ice from your cooler and transforming it into a portable rinsing station for those sandy beach days. Let's be honest, after a long day at the beach, you're gonna be covered in sand. Wouldn't it be great to have a product that takes care of your post-beach cleanup? Your cooler already has water, but with Surfside Sprayer, it now fulfills a greater purpose.
Not all coolers are built the same, and that's why we made it easy to match the Surfside Sprayer with yours. Just simply select your cooler's brand and model from our list, and we will attach the most compatible drain plug adapter. This ensures a snug fit, no leaks, and the best spray performance. With wide compatibility, we're making Surfside Sprayer accessible to more coolers and more beach days. And don't forget, if you don't bring a cooler to the beach, we're making them for water bottles too.
Our sprayer is designed with our target customers in mind, from families, beachgoers, sports players, vacationers, pet owners, boaters, and even hunters. No matter where the day takes you, Surfside Sprayer keeps you cool, clean, and ready for more.
As you can see in these 4 videos, Surfside Sprayer is not just for one purpose, but in fact, it's a versatile tool used to clean off almost anything. Whether it's cleaning off people, pets, or even sports equipment, Surfside Sprayer enhances your cleaning experience.
The Surfside Sprayer features adjustable settings, letting you easily switch between a fine mist for gentle rinses and a more powerful stream for tougher cleanups. It charges fully in just 2 hours and delivers up to 6 hours of continuous use, perfect for all-day beach trips and outdoor adventures.
Surfside Sprayer plans to market on social media apps like TikTok and Instagram. We plan on using websites like Wix and Shopify, where we hope to display our product online. And we plan on directly selling in stores like Coastal Edge, WRV, and 17th Street. We plan on participating in events like ECSE, sand soccer, and beach volleyball, where we hope to demonstrate our product in use.
There are a few key competitors within the water sprayer market. Each consists of unique features. However, Surfside Sprayer stands out because it's compact, lightweight, and compatible with coolers. Our first competitor, Rinse Kit, is priced at $325. Falling behind is Sun Ninja, which ranges between $70 and $130 dependent on size. Our last competitor is a Coleman-based product, which is $165. By understanding our competitors and their disadvantages, we are able to better position Surfside Sprayer as a go-to solution for outdoor enthusiasts seeking convenience and quality. Now, for our cost of goods sold, we purchased a drain plug, clear adhesive sealant, water sprayer, and packaging to come to a total of $5.41. If we were to sell 1,000 units, we'd be able to profit $14,580. If we sold 10,000 units, we'd be able to profit approximately $146,000.
Before we pivoted our product, we conducted a total of 122 interviews, with 74 in person and 48 online. After switching to the Surfside Sprayer, we continued customer discovery with 114 additional interviews, with 94 in person and 20 online, giving us a grand total of 236. These insights were key in the direction and features of Surfside Sprayer. In our interviews, we asked 2 key questions to identify the customer interest in our product. The first question being, would you find a product like the Surfside Sprayer useful? And 70% said yes. So we followed up by asking, what would you primarily use the sprayer for? With the top response being for rinsing off skin, followed by rinsing off gear, pets, and cooling off.
We then asked how much you'd be willing to pay for a product like this, with over 60% of people saying $15 to $20. We then asked, would you be interested in purchasing a product like Surfside Sprayer, with over 70% of people saying yes. This process led to 13 pre-order sales.
So we chose a wholesale price of $10, with each unit costing $5.41 to make. This gives us a profit of $4.59, and a retail price of $19.99, giving us a $14.58 profit. This gives us a strong profit margin while keeping it affordable for beachgoers. Our low cost and smart pricing helps us stay profitable.
In year 1, we plan to sell 500 units, breaking even at 375 units in month 8. In year 2, we would sell the other 500 units. Now, since this is a seasonal product for warmer temperatures, our projections accumulated from warmer seasons such as spring and summer. In addition, we chose to increase sales in the month December due to seasonal holidays like Christmas.
Our team is asking for $7,500. We plan to sell 1,000 Surfside sprayers. The total cost to produce and ship these units is around $5,000. If we sell each sprayer at a cost of around $20, we bring in $20,000 in revenue. Subtracting the initial $7,500 investment, that leaves us with a projected net profit of approximately $12,500. This estimate includes a buffer for setbacks and ensures that we remain profitable even if some costs fluctuate.
In conclusion, Surfside Sprayer is the perfect addition for anyone who loves the beach, boating, or outdoor adventures by providing a convenient way to clean off sand, salt, and dirt. Our product enhances the user's experience, and we are very excited to market this solution.
Thank you.
Very nicely done. So the sprayer is already manufactured somewhere.
Yes.
Somebody has it.
Yes.
Someone has a patent on it.
No. We don't have any direct competitors. Has been taken off of all markets. We only could find it off of Alibaba, and we get it sourced through Jing Sourcing. It doesn't have a patent. We asked. It has no kind of legal limit on it. We are allowed to use it and brand it as our own product, and it's ours.
So you're going to buy this piece of equipment.
Right.
For how much?
Bulk orders kind of depend on size, but that itself is around $5.
So if I can buy this for $5, can anybody buy it for $5?
I would like to add in, so what we would do is we personalize the sprayers to fit different coolers. So I think that's where we take our step in, because our customers would have to find their drain plug, find the sealant, figure out how to get a drill press in there and put it all together. Meanwhile, we would do it for them, taking that inconvenience away from them.
And Coleman and some of the other national brands are doing something similar to this now, just at a different price point.
Yes, but the difference is that we adapt to anything, and those products, our competitors that we listed, you have to fill them up. It's a huge tank that you fill up with your own water, and then you bring this entire tank, and it has an attached thing. In the beginning, we did have a product like that. It was a cooler with the sprayer in it, but then we wanted to widen our market, and we wanted to make it more accessible, because we knew that our cooler wasn't going to compete very well with big brands like Yeti and Igloo and Arctic. So we wanted to make sure that we could adapt to their coolers. And so you just choose your brand and your model. We attach the most compatible drain plug adapter, and then it just plugs into any cooler.
And lastly, whose dog was that? That was the most.
That was my dog.
That was great.
Thank you.
Fella there.
Thank you.
Yeah, I like that your product is easily adaptable to something already at the beach. Just understand the market. People are buying big tanks of water and bringing it to the beach in addition to
Yeah.
Their coolers and everything else?
Yeah, a lot of the competitors that we had, the big tanks, a lot of surfers use them to clean off their boards before they go put them in the car. A lot of families sometimes will use them if they go and they have like larger families, say like 5+ kids. They'll take them so that they can rinse off and the car won't be as sandy. Because if you're driving a minivan, like it's carpets, it's gonna be really hard to clean. So a lot of them will take that. But the problem is that you have to fill up the whole tank, and you have to use it as its own product, like it's not compatible. And ours is, which you use already ice that you were already using, and then it's so much easier.
A question about the pressure of the sprayer. If the pressure is not great, then it's going to require the use of more water to clean more surface area.
Right.
It seemed like a little on the weak side.
Yeah.
Was that by design, and is
No.
that something you're working
So
on?
the battery life, we have been using it all day, so the battery has been a little bit of drained. Our other sprayers, we just got a shipment in yesterday of 20 sprayers, so those are probably going to give more pressure. A lot of the times we also have to drill press into the cap, the white cap at the tip of it. We have to drill press into it so that it gives a larger stream, but this one has just been like used a lot today, so that's the only reason, because normally it does spray very well.
I also want to compliment your pitch deck.
Thank you.
Really
It's really beautiful.
Is this all, your primary customer is direct to consumer, or is it through the retail stores?
It'll probably be direct consumer. We have made a website. The biggest, I guess, kind of barrier is marketing, but that's why we had around $1,000 for marketing, because we would rather sell it ourselves instead of through retail stores. We would get a wider range of a market if we sold it through retail stores, but we get a bigger profit if we sell it ourselves. And also it's easier because if we sell it in retail stores, it'll be harder for them to get the different drain plugs, because we can't send 17 different drain plugs into a store.
That's kind of where I was going.
Right.
Is that it seems like, to me, A, demonstrating it, B, I was going to ask about your packaging like we did if it's going to be in a retail store. And as some of the other panelists have mentioned earlier, explaining all this on a shelf, how it's going to work, and
Right.
all that just seems difficult. It seems like if you could have your videos on a website,
Right.
direct to consumer, and explain the benefits, that would be.
Yeah.
But then to drive people to that website, it takes a little more dough maybe than what I think.
Yeah.
To create that demand and that interest, to get them to that. I'm surprised that sand has become such a big issue.
I have
Yeah.
a couple of questions for you all. Presumably the water would be cold, right? If it's coming out of the cooler, it's ice cold.
Yeah.
Yeah, or if it's from a water bottle that's been sitting out in the sun, it's warm, right? So
Right.
whatever's coming out of that
Right.
would be cold.
Mhm.
I can just see my child being like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
so anyway.
I could see me doing it.
Yeah, I know. Well, no, you wouldn't be in the sand because you don't like the sand.
Where they're spraying you.
Yeah, that's right. One recommendation that I might have is that if you all could come up to Bruce's point, Mr. Thompson's point about packaging, it would be, I think, really helpful to figure out a way to put that in something that attaches to the cooler. Because I don't know where I would put that if I were going to the beach.
Right.
And I can see it getting dropped in the sand and getting clogged, and I lose the attachment, and I can see that being kind of a
Right.
hot mess. So I would suggest some sort of nifty clip-on pouch that stays tightly on your cooler.
So we have thought about, like, during the process of our prototyping, we have thought about adding like a hook that comes in the package, and then you just add it to your cooler and it ties up all up and attaches. Obviously it's not going to be very well because some coolers have a rougher surface, but then yeah, that's a really good point that we could add a bag that's
I love
attachable.
that, and I think also there's such an environmental play here. I mean, you're not just dumping your cooler out and wasting all of the water. You're repurposing this water that would otherwise go down a sink or go in the sand. And so I would use that as a really important part of your marketing conversation with consumers, because I think that's a value add to this particular product.
Yeah. We also like the fact that, like, our options that go into water bottles, we've tested it, and once when you go to the beach, some people just pour water bottles on themselves to get the sand off. Well, it's not very conservative. Like, you just dump all of the water out, it comes out very fast. But ours, it sprays wide, and so it gets all of the sand off faster and uses way less water, so it's a lot more conservative instead of just dumping out your whole cooler or using the drain plug to rinse yourself off if you put it at the back of your trunk. Like, everything that we've kind of thought about, it's very conservative and repurposes the water, as you said. Yeah.
I could also see my kids when they were little using this in the bathtub to shoot,
Yes,
water fights.
Yeah.
Can I ask you a question? Is it water resistant, or what if it drops in the water? Is there a problem
It
with it?
cannot be fully submerged within the water, but a little water wouldn't hurt.
Yeah. It's just that the charging port at the bottom, I don't know where you guys have the sprayer, but there's a charging port at the bottom, so if it gets fully submerged, the water goes into the motor and it disrupts the flow. But a lot of times we've thought about getting covers, so we do think that that's going to be one of our next steps, is getting covers so that you can submerge it and it won't affect the sprayer.
Well, fantastic. Thank you all very much.
Very nice presentation.
Great job. Thank you, Surfside Sprayer. If you like their business idea, be sure to vote for them during the audience choice portion of the night later this evening. Well, this concludes the incubator pitches for the evening. Let's give one more round of applause for all of our teams tonight. In just a few moments, our judges will begin their deliberation to determine which of those 7 teams will receive funding. As a reminder, the incubator teams who are awarded funding tonight will move on to the accelerator class and be able to launch their business next school year. I would like to invite the judges at this time to move off stage and begin the judges' deliberation session. We will see them back on stage in just a few minutes for the announcement of awards. This brings us to the audience choice portion of tonight. You all heard from 7 extraordinary incubator teams, and it is now time for you to choose which one you like the most. On the screen is a QR code that you can scan in order to cast your vote. Who will the audience choose? Will it be Team Snap and Seal, Team Sandaway, Team Bus Buddy, Team Beach Feet, Team Coastal Cover, Team Velevate, or Team Surfside Sprayer? This voting form will be open for submission for the next 5 minutes. During the 5 minutes that the audience choice voting form is available, please remain seated as we will showcase additional incubator teams and recognize our vast network of mentors. At this time, we would like to display commercial videos created by this year's 11 additional teams. All the teams you have seen gone through the incubator process this year and would like to share their business with you all tonight through 30 to 60-second commercial clips. Enjoy.
Hello, you recognize me? Don't think about going back to sleep. 2 choices. You hit this snooze button, or you wake up to conquer your day. It's time to get back to work. Stop hearing yourself talk. Get off the podcast.
Hello, you've reached the bait line. I need 1 big shrimp. Be there in 5. Let's go catch a big shrimp. Pancakes only. No, I caught a big one. This is 1 monster shrimp. Here's your shrimp, sir. Let's hit it. Shrimp. Bait in 5? More like bait in 4. Bait to door, catch more. With Bait Bros, you get fast and efficient delivery on time just for you. Shrimp. Sir, your 1 big shrimp is here. Bait Bros.
Have you
Have you ever been to the beach and had your towel fly around in the wind uncontrollably, having a difficult time placing it down? Or maybe you use your personal items to keep the towel down and they end up getting sandy.
Introducing the Bound to Beach, an innovative beach blanket that solves all your struggles on beach days. The Bound to Beach blanket has 3 pockets. In the top left pocket, you can store smaller items like your wallet, keys, sunglasses, or any other items you can fit. Once filled, just zip it up and your items will be safe from the sand.
In the top right, there is a phone pouch, allowing you to store your phone, keeping it protected from the sun and the sand. To use your phone, just fold the corner up and you'll be able to use it without ever needing to take it out of the pocket, allowing for easy use.
On the bottom of a blanket, there's a larger pocket that allows you to store bigger items such as sunscreen, shoes, and clothes. Once all the pockets are full, your beach blanket will be weighted through all your items, allowing for it to stay put in the wind.
The bottom of the beach blanket is made out of nylon, a sand-resistant material that allows sand to easily slide off when lifted up.
We plan to target customers that are local beachgoers that enjoy tanning and relaxing at the beach.
If you want to learn more about our business, be sure to follow us on Instagram at BoundToBeachVB.
This is gonna have to work. Oh my gosh. I don't have time for this. Oh shoot. I forgot my necklaces. Why are these clasps so small? Ugh, I'm already running late. You know what? Are you serious? Whatever, I have to go. Are you serious? I have to go. Stop. Is this what your mornings look like? With stress and disorganization of fumbling with necklaces and taking up your valuable time?
Let us introduce to you Classy Latch.
The problem affects young women and women who have mobility issues. We are clear, durable, and non-tarnishable, and most importantly, tangle resistant. We would sell our product for $10.99.
Keep it simple, keep it classy.
Man, I wish I had V-Bucks for this skin in Fortnite. Try coinflippers.online. What's that? It's a website where you can earn free V-Bucks by doing surveys and looking at ads. Cool, I'll check it out. OMG, I can't believe my eyes. I earned so many V-Bucks for free.
Oh my god, I just spent $5 extra on these bags and this is how my groceries end up. I wish I had a product that was durable and reusable.
Boy, do I have a product for you.
Who are you?
I'm your fairy godmother, and I'm here to offer you a product that will certainly help.
What is that?
Well,
Introducing the EcoEase reusable cart organizer that can be used from grocery stores to the house. Our product has one insulated side and a cover to contain items that are cold, handles on the side, or a crossbody strap for easy transportation from the car to the house. It also has a collapsible feature to store the organizer away when not in use.
Well, can I try it out? Wow, not that heavy.
messenger break. So let's make every grocery trip a step towards an easier future.
What if your future didn't feel so uncertain? Meet Next Gen Prospects, the ultimate career exploration platform built just for school students like you. Entering the website, every client can join now or sign in. They'll be taken to our subscription page where they can either have a free trial lasting 14 days or pay for a 1, 3, 6, or 12-month subscription. Every prospect will go through 6 courses dedicated to basic professional skills, including interpersonal skills, social and emotional intelligence, and practical development strategies. Connect with real-world pros, discover careers you never knew existed, and get tools to actually prepare you for what's next. No uncertainty, no wasted time, just clarity and confidence. Next Gen Prospects, developing tomorrow's leaders today.
Do you suffer from this problem? At PageProp, we are addressing this with our product, the PageProp. Here's a demo of our product. Our customer segment are those around 13 to 25 years old, specifically avid readers, students, and beachgoers. Now, we found that many of our customers experience the pain of losing their spot while reading, spine creasing, and cover bending. With our PageProp, we are turning these pains into gains. Our product is retailing for $18.85. With your help, we can elevate your sways one page at a time. Thank you.
I need bug spray. I hope it at least repels.
Lucas, what's wrong?
The bug spray didn't work. I wish there was a better solution.
Well, repel with repellent.
Repellent? For $9.49? That's a steal!
With Repellent, you can look happy just like him while using our all-natural lotion.
Make the outdoors bug-free again with Repellent.
Yo, Cam, you ready to play today, bro? Yeah. Yo, what's up, bro? What's up, bro? Yeah. Wait, you don't smell that, bro? Yo, what is that? Whoa. Is that your shoes?
I mean, I don't know. I just played a game. I got another game in an hour.
Oh, Zay, what's good, bro? You ready?
Yo, what's up, Zay?
Wait, you don't smell that?
Nah, what?
Come. Ugh, yo, you stink.
God, bro, chill. I just played a game. I got another game in an hour. I'm just gonna put them in my bag.
Bro, hold up. You need to rejuvenate, bro. Come on.
Rejuvenate? What's this?
Let me get your shoes in the bag. Put your shoes in the bag, bro. Here. Put them in there, bro.
Gotcha, bro.
Ooh.
Wow. Can you believe this?
Oh, man. We gotta get you right.
Then what do I do?
Just leave them in there, man. It'll dry your shoes and make them smell better soon.
For real?
Yeah.
I appreciate
When
that.
you said you had a game?
In an hour.
Okay. Yeah, it'll have you great by then.
Right before your game, we'll bring him back. I got you.
Yeah, we'll bring them back, bro. We got you.
All right, let's go.
The Rejuvenate, a battery-powered shoe bag with the fan to provide fresh airflow for the shoe. Don't forget to call us at 757-648-5450 or DM us on Instagram at rejuvenate_VV, or you can email us at rejuvenate@gmail.com. We are located at 5194 Chief Trail. Don't forget to rejuvenate with Rejuvenate.
Oh, let's do a chin strap. I'm just not gonna strap this in. What about the Jackal Jaw chin strap? Whoa, what is that?
What's what?
That thing on your chin.
This is Straps. It's a lacrosse insert that slides straight onto your chin strap. It's super comfortable, and it prevents my chin strap from becoming super gross while I'm playing. It makes me actually want to wear my chin strap.
And it's only $10.
Now I have drip, and you know what they say, drip over skill.
I just want to relax. School is so annoying. I'm going YouTube.
Derek, get off the computer and clean your room. It's filthy.
Ah! If only there's a less tedious way.
What if I told you there was? Introducing VacuPlay. Our product will be the first widely available and affordable robot vacuum to incorporate automation, manual control, sweeping brushes, a mop pad on the bottom, UV lights for disinfecting, and several removable fun designs to turn a vacuum into an RC toy for children, designed to teach children the importance of and enjoyment that can be derived from a clean space. Let's face it, cleaning is tedious, it's boring, it's inefficient, and it's inaccessible to some, but it doesn't have to be. Take control of your space and choose the best to clean that mess today with VacuPlay. Ask your friends before going online.
Wow, our teams came up with some amazing business ideas this year. This program would have not been possible without the support of so many local entrepreneurs who work with our students. We would like to recognize those supporters this evening and ask those in attendance to stand and be recognized for the work they did with the teams this year. Starting with mentors. Lisa DeNoya, mentor of Sunny Soul. Nicole Newsom, mentor of She Claps. Ivory Bivens, mentor of Skate Straps. Julian Rivera, mentor of Aquaseal. Sarah Kellum, mentor of Sensit. Brian Bartko, mentor of Snap and Seal. Jeff Werby, mentor of Elevate. Henry Cobb, mentor of Surfside Sprayer. Elizabeth Henson, mentor of Sandaway. Asan Muak, mentor of Bus Buddy. Jennifer Burnett, mentor of Coastal Cover. Amber Lee Ferguson, mentor of Beach Feet. Miranda Beeson, mentor of Bait Bros. Josh Waldron, mentor of Rejuvenate. Brett Darling, mentor of Coin Flippers. Amy Mallinson, mentor of EcoEase. Jennifer and Joel Ankney, mentor of Bound to Beach. Cara Alexander, mentor of Page Prop. Aaron Heffelfinger, mentor of Classy Latch. Tracy Stern, mentor of Next Gen Prospects. Madeline Filio and Robert Gay, mentor of Repel It. Steve Marable, mentor of Straps. And Jason Barnes, mentor of VacuPlay. Next is coaches. Chick Thompson, coach of Ideation. Sharon Scannell, coach of Value Proposition. Mike Bayrod, coach of Pricing. Steve Waddle, coach of Valuepreneurs. And Joel and Jennifer Ankney, coach of Legal. Next is our fabulous judges of table display competition and elevator pitch competition that took place in the hallway prior to the start of the show. Bethan Campbell, Deneen Blakes, Tatiana Serrano, Jade Jones, and Chris Sproul. Finally is the Board of Advisors. Chris Mashute, Mike Zetters, Marty Kazubowski, Kate McCann, Sharon Scannell, Mike Bayrod, Phil Russo, Season Roberts, and Greg Tongchik. Thank you for all our community partners who assisted with the incubator and accelerator programs. We are always looking for business leaders to work with our students in various ways, such as masterclass presenters, incubator and accelerator volunteers, and even hosting a senior intern. Please reach out to Megan Timlin or Ashley Houchins or check out Ways to Get Involved flyer on our website for more details. Lastly, this night would not have been possible without the generous support of Mr. Bruce Thompson and fellow judges this evening. Thank you. We would now like to show 2 videos that highlight the overall EBA, incubator, and accelerator programs. Take a look at the journey these incubator teams embarked on.
The Entrepreneurship and Business Academy at Kempsville High School provides a very unique opportunity to students who select the E&I strand. This cutting-edge entrepreneurship curriculum allows students to experience business development firsthand. Students begin the year by learning about the Lean Startup method in the business model canvas. They then form teams and begin brainstorming ideas that they themselves are passionate about solving. For forming teams, students then pitch their business ideas to 16 mentors where they will be matched up with a local entrepreneur who has a similar goal in mind. Mentors have played a very significant role in the development of business over the years, and when asked, many people will say that without our mentor, we would be nowhere today. Students then get to work, pitching at various points throughout the year, especially at their major pitch where they conduct their MVP or minimum viable product testing plan. They will then ask the Board of Advisors for funding money to create and test a prototype. Finally, the course comes to an end with the main event, Pitch Night. This is where the top teams take the main stage to present their business ideas in hopes of real seed funding money.
We're not ready. Am I on? Am I on? Can you hear me? We're not ready. I'm so sorry. But I would be remiss if I did not take an opportunity. So my name's Megan Timlin. I'm the Academy Coordinator here at Kempsville High School. Best job in the world. Thank you very much for being here tonight. I'd be remiss if I didn't share one of our true success stories. I have She Clasp here tonight. Ladies, if you'll come on stage. Give it up for She Clasp. So if you were here last year, anyone here who came last year, you saw She Clasp pitch and earn funding here. And not only that, they became our first ever team to go to the national pitch. We'd never had a team go before. We submit every year, one team. They got to go to Chicago for the national pitch. And not only did they get to go, they won. So truly, we wanted to highlight She Clasp tonight and share that national win with all of you because it's been a year. And they earned $2,000 at the national pitch contest that they have used to create their prototypes. I will let them share a little update on kind of where they are now. Hopefully, we follow tracking daily. We should be getting 1,000 units soon. So we want to sell these to you, and I know many people want one. So I will let them share a little update kind of on where they are. And if you aren't familiar with She Clasp, I will let them share a little bit about what they do. But please give it up for She Clasp. Who wants the mic?
Hey everyone, so we're She Clasp, and we are a jewelry assistant. We created this product back in sophomore year last year, and we were grouped together. I'm Yasmin.
I'm Amira.
I'm Maya. We're She Clasp. And after winning Pitch Night and getting fully funded in 2024, we've made some incredible progress. Last summer, like Ms. Timlin just said, not only were we invited to the Incubator National Pitch in Chicago, but we were winners and funded $2,000.
Not only that, but we also gained $500 in sales while in Chicago. We are now officially registered as an LLC, and we secured a patent for our innovative jewelry assistant.
So as Ms. Timlin said, we do have our first 1,000 units currently on the way as we're preparing for our first launch. So make sure you guys get your pre-orders in. All of our platforms are She Clasp. Thank you.
All right. Thank you for waiting. I think we're ready, so we can get everyone in the room. Before we give out these awards, I'm going to have the judges come back on stage. I'd be remiss, that's my word of the night, if I did not recognize the talent that we have here in the Entrepreneurship and Business Academy. And this does not happen without an amazing teacher. And so I want to take the opportunity to recognize Miss Ashley Houchins. Come here, Elijah. Elijah. Lexi. She is the magic behind all of this, and we just truly appreciate all she does for our students. Where is Lexi? I'm so confused. Okay. All right. So please give it up for Miss Houchins. We are very thankful for her. And Mr. Thompson and the judges are ready. Oh, he's right behind me. Look at that. See, he just appears. All right, sir, it's your turn. Ready?
Well, here we go. As we said in the beginning, there's going to be some winners and some losers. There's just not a bucket full of money. And if there was a bucket full of money, we probably wouldn't have enough even if there was. So we have a limited budget we work with, but also we want to make sure that we're honest and that there's integrity and that there's actually, the judges actually feel that there's viability in the products that we are funding. But before we get started, how about giving these judges a big round of applause? And how about an extra for the First Lady of the Commonwealth of Virginia that took away from her many duties to come down here today, Mrs. Suzanne Yunkin. And Mrs. Timlin, who this program wouldn't be here in the school but for Mrs. Timlin.
I have a couple of awards before we do those. Sorry, Mr. Thompson. Okay, so we did an audience choice vote tonight, and the audience choice winner was Bus Buddy. So Bus Buddy. Are they here? Okay, congratulations. Look at Mr. Morris over here. So at the beginning of the night, all of our teams, we had 18 teams this year, we did table displays and elevator pitches, and the winner of the elevator pitch was Classy Latch. Are they here? Classy Latch? If you are here, please come to the stage. Any semblance of you? Oh, you are all here? Excellent. Come on up. Give it up for Classy Latch. And our table display award goes to Sandaway. Congratulations. Go over and you'll get a picture for Mr. Morris. Now the big awards.
So, as we get started, there were well, first of all, every presentation was fantastic. I mean, the idea that these young entrepreneurs come into this auditorium that's packed and talk with such self-confidence, such conviction, have used their creativity. I mean, they got tough questions from mega business entrepreneurs. They had to, I just love the way that they could look you straight in the eye and answer a question and not bounce around. I mean, every one of them deserve. Give them one more big round of applause. There are two presentations, one by Velinate and the other by Beach Feet, both of which we felt had liability issues that need to be some due diligence done on it, particularly when it comes to concern about safety on the bike pedal, the idea that that there are so many accidents that happen that we'd be encouraging bare feet. One of the judges said possibly maybe there's a sock or there's some other way, but it just does not seem like it would be in the best interest of any financier, anyone providing capital, to be backing a product that might have a liability issue. The same thing, and it doesn't mean that that group should not come forward with another idea, because they did show all the skill sets that it takes to be an entrepreneur, but there was an issue that we could not quite reconcile with respect to the liability associated with riding a bike and financing a project with bare feet. The same thing with beach feet. We thought it was a great idea, a great product, but not knowing exactly what's inside of that container, not knowing exactly how you're going to apply it, not having the Consumer Protection Agency having some type of weigh-in on the products that were there, could not get the judges comfortable with the idea that there might not be some liability exposure. I think it was one of the best presented products. I think they did an exceptionally good idea. But for those two reasons, we think that for those two products that there needs to be more due diligence, and needs to be more. It doesn't say that in the future they can't come back through the Entrepreneurship Academy and talk to Ms. Hutchins and Mrs. Timlin to talk about how we could support them in the future. But for today, that doesn't quite work. We had a problem and won't be able to fund Sandaway, even though we loved Sandaway. There was not a retail plan to take it to market. There was not a packaging plan or a cost associated with packaging. And the idea that we had not really uncovered, we sell it to somebody but don't have a way in which to refill the powder or how to get it or what it'll cost. So it's not ready for prime time yet, although we did very much like the product itself, and we thought the presentation was exceptional. The one that we had the most trouble with, that we will not be able to fund either at this time, is Coastal. We have a great deal of concern over the potential weight of the product when it gets wet. The idea that maybe there could be some other type of material that might be used that wouldn't carry all that weight in water. The idea that there still may need to be a towel. We think it's an exceptional idea. A couple of the judges said anytime you get a twofer, a towel and a beach cover, it's a great idea and it's a great product, but we think that they need to do a little more refinement, and Ms. Hutchins and Ms. Timlin have gotten a bunch of notes. It doesn't mean that we wouldn't expect to see them back in the future and hopefully find a way in which to refine that presentation. But for right now, and with these ones that we're not funding today, for right now, you have to pivot. Entrepreneurs are going to get more no's. There are still opportunities. You're smart kids. You've got smart entrepreneurs. You've got a great future. You've got a great product. You did a good presentation. And please, please, please don't give up. A real entrepreneur will take no as a maybe and go back at it and come back to the table with after they pivoted. Let's give all four of those a big round of applause. Bus Buddy?
You were in the dark, so you need to come back.
I was in the dark. The first one that we're going to fund, but it's kind of an unusual, it's not unusual for us, but an unusual way that we're going to go about doing it, is Bus Buddy. Well, you haven't heard it all. We're going to give Bus Buddy not the $10,000 they want, but we're going to give them a couple $1,000s. We want them to finish their prototype to get a product, and they need to go out to 10 different restaurants with some of their prototypes and get 10 orders. They get 10 orders to buy their product exactly the way it's set up. They've shown the capacity and shown the use. 10 orders from 10 different restaurants, and we'll fully fund them when they get that done.
With the judges, yeah.
want to use Suzanne. No, well, those shorter ones. I'm good. All right. So we have two more, and both will be funded. The first that we want to talk about is Snap and Seal. We only have one problem with Snap and Seal. We don't think they asked for enough money. So we think that there is not enough money in there for marketing, and we also think that there's not enough money for marketing because we think that there's numerous other uses that Snap and Seal could find. Some of the judges were talking about travel, some of them were talking about cosmetics, some of them were talking about a number of other uses other than the ones that they identified. So they asked for $9,000. We're going to increase it to $10,000 to let them expand the market. Snap and Seal. Okay, that's all for tonight. Oh, no. Is there any more left? Surfside Sprayer. Suzanne, don't get lost out of it. Okay, all right. One of the things that, once again, the judges had a lot to say about Surfside Sprayer because we think, similar to what happened with Snap and Seal, that there were lots of other applications for the Surfside Sprayer. We talked about hunting. We talked about one of the judges has a farm and what they go through when they come off the farm. Just a variety of different uses. And based upon that and the sustainable aspect of it, we do think that this is going to be a better direct-to-consumer product, that it can, but that's aside the point. It's proof of concept. They want to get out there today. Surfside Sprayer gets $7,500, exactly what they requested. Once again, how about a big hand for the judges, the faculty. Where is our executive producer, Matthew Crow? Matthew Crow, who comes from the Maine, who produces the show for us, and all the other people that help us put this on. Look forward to seeing you next year at the Entrepreneurship and Business Academy Shark Night.
Congratulations to all our teams and winners. The teams that receive funding tonight will work over the summer to form LLCs, open bank accounts, and begin launching their business. We are so excited to see how these students grow these businesses over the next school year. A big thank you again to Mr. Bruce Thompson and the judges this evening for helping us make this possible. Also, thank you, audience, for being so great tonight, and have a great night, everyone. Thank you.